Yup. 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 Said fingers crossed. We done already talked about this yesterday. Every time I talk about certain things, what was in the video? A demon. What happened yesterday? Every time we talk about Satan and demons, it crashes. Hey guys, here's Christian stuff to review. So, you know, don't have to play the game. Silenced me. I'm glad y'all, the ones that are here every day, can see this. Because y'all see it's real. It's not in my mind. I'm not crazy. It's not me overthinking it. Y'all see it. Every time we talk about certain things, the live stream gets clipped. Next on Dragon Ball. It's so funny. I actually wasn't trying to click that, KO. I was trying to click the one above you, and yours came on first. If YouTube's trying to silence you, you're doing something right. Yep. Yep. You guys know I'm 20 subs away from like 100 on Rumble. They ever cut the YouTube channel? If you're not following me on Rumble, go ahead and follow me on Rumble. Because we just gonna keep doing the live streams over there. The day this ever falls apart. I don't know what they so afraid of. I only have like 1,200 subs. My voice not that big, right? Right? My light shines that bright. Do I scare somebody? Like, am I scaring somebody? Rumble is awful. I mean, Tech Boy, they have a lot they gotta fix. The thing I do like about Rumble, they're creating all their stuff in-house, so they don't have to play by like the rules that the other big tech companies are playing by, because, you know, they have a lot of third-party software and like implemented into their systems. Rumble's not doing that. They're just building out their own. The thing with them building out their own, it's going to take time for them to, you know, flesh everything out. I guess that's the best way to put it. Did you ever look up Lottie Jupri? Yeah, I did. I went to her TikTok because she seemed to have more videos on there than the YouTube channel. The enemy doesn't like followers of Christ gathering. Facts. Did you look into Odyssey? I know what that is. I saw Ruin Leon has one of those accounts because he showed it to us in one of his streams. I could make one. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I doubt YouTube is censoring you. Do you now, Tech Boy? Interesting. You know, a lot of the bigger YouTube channels that are Christian are not monetized, by the way. They have Patreons and stuff. That's how they make their money. So, you need to understand that I'm monetized, yet they keep denying all my monetization because they don't like what I talk about. So I have to follow their rules, and they don't like what I'm saying. So I'm at the point where, like, a lot of times I don't even cut monetization on. Especially for live streams, it's off on every live stream. And they still demonetize me and pull videos and yada, yada, yada. Odyssey downloads to the blockchain. Okay. I'm gonna have to look into it. Rumble is a streaming. Yeah, no, since I had to restart. So every time I restart, I only do it to YouTube. So not, because this is another thing I don't like about setting up Rumble live streams. It's not as easy as pushing a button on YouTube. You have to actually go in, create one, and then I have to funnel all that information into like Streamlabs, because their URLs and their stream key changes each time you set up a live stream, which is really stupid. That's something they definitely need to fix, because I don't know why they have it set up like that. So you'll personally own all of your uploads and connect it to YouTube. Oh, okay. I'll look into it. I'll look into it, Haley. I remember you told me about locals, and I am gonna do a locals. My issue is though, because that's like a paid thing. I was thinking like maybe 5 to 10 a month, probably around 5. But I want to give you guys some bang for your buck. So I want to create like series, but like in whole. So you'll have like one season of like a bunch of stuff ready to go. And then I'll just automatically drop like a new episode once a week. And it'd only be for the paid subscribers. So before I do that, I'll give you guys a taste of it for free on like YouTube and Rumble and all that. Maybe like one episode so you can kind of see how it is. And then we'll go from there. So, for example, me doing the food review show, depending how I do the layouts, after a while, that'd be like a full season thing on locals. The cooking show on locals, the cleaning show on locals, certain like videos where we talk about whatever's happening in the news, conservative wise or whatever. That could be certain things. I could do like special talks, because I think I use Gothix as an example. She has something called like Saturday morning talks on hers, because she talks about on her channel. I haven't actually, because I don't pay for her locals, but she be saying like every Saturday morning it's like coffee talk or something, and people come through and she be chopping up with them. I would do stuff like that, because it needs to be something. Y'all got to be paying for something. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're going to try this one more time. This is the thread of all the Christian companies. Of all the Christian companies. Then we all can start, putting our money where our mouths are. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm saying. You said Sang's new wife life advice and tips about food. I don't know if I can give wife advice, because I'm like newly married, but keeping a home and cooking and all that, I can give that advice. That's easy. I was already doing that. I've been doing that since I moved out on my own at 19. I think I was 19 when I moved out the house. I've been doing that forever. But as you guys can see, and actually let me share it. Let me share it before YouTube is like, get up out of here. Get up out of here. Boom. If Sang shows up in a floral dress and apron, I'm out. I mean, who says I won't? It is a show after all. I gotta dress the part, You guys aren't gonna see me with the do-rag on and like the Christian hoodies and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta dress up. I gotta look nice. Y'all saw the wedding photos. I know how to dress up. I know how to put on a dress and heels and a purse and all that. I don't know, getting married is a struggle for some ladies today, so maybe you should. That's facts. That's big facts. Some women, and this would be the easiest reason on why a lot of them aren't married. Their list of what they want in a man is way too unrealistic. And not only is it unrealistic, they also don't want to be a wife. So when I hear women talking about, I'm not cooking, why do I have to cook? We can just order takeout, or we can just pay somebody to cook. It's like, okay, well, if you take the man out of the equation, you still have to eat. So how's that about to work out? Like, you still got to eat. You still have to know how to cook. I don't understand. I feel like cooking and cleaning are just adult life skills. I don't even feel like that's just straight for marriage. Like, you need to learn how to be clean and cook on your own. Saying create a mastodon. Huh? Create a mastodon. It's lib. So now we need to counter it. Mastodon? What's a mastodon? Hold on. We didn't even get to the thread. What is a mastodon? Yo, I still have caps lock on. It says social media? Is that what you're talking about, Tech Boy? I have no clue what you're talking about. Saying go Stepford wife. I could. It'll throw a lot of y'all off when you see the videos too. Don't go there. It's filled with grossness, supposedly. The mask. All right, I'm not gonna go. Yes, the social media. Tech boy, I've never even heard of this thing before. So you're asking me to create something I've never heard of, and you're telling me it's lib. It's lib now, so we need to counter it. I thought our counter to social media was Truth Social. Was that not it? I'm not on there either, but I'm just saying, like, I thought that was like the right side of the fence for like Twitter. It's the thing all the libs left Twitter for. Oh, they can have it then. I don't really care about that. I don't really care about it. But all right, y'all, this is the thread. Let's jump into this real quick. So, she says, today I will highlight brands that Christians could safely support this month and will forever. Feel free to add your recommendations. So right here, you have something called Kimmy's Ranch Jeans. She should have put like website links too, but I guess we can all do our own due diligence. So let's pull up some Kimmy's real quick. Okay, these are like, what, the answer to Levi's? That's what it's looking like. Oh, they got men's clothes too. Men! Y'all can get y'all own stuff up in here as well. Look at this. They have more than that. They got jeans, shirts, dress shirts, hoodies, jackets, activewear. All right. We got to see what the men's collection look like. Because if the men did, ladies, you know, you buy stuff for the man too. Got to have him looking nice. He can't be out here looking raggedy. Okay, I like these a little bit more. Okay. All right. We got the little American shirts right here. All right. Your shirt's not bad. Okay. Okay, what's up with the we got dress shirts? We got dress shirts for the men. Okay, this isn't a dress shirt. This is like a performance workout shirt. I don't know why that's in here. All right, if y'all like the cowboy look, the whole country rugged thing, that's why it's called Kimmy's Ranch. It's not bad either. Not bad. Saying it's on point, on mission, and doing pretty... Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. If you put conservative opinions on Mastodon, it will break their bubble. Nah. If they all want to live in their debauchery, they can have it. They can have it. All right, we gotta see what the men's jeans. Okay, all right. I mean, they're jeans. You only go so far with some jeans. You know what I'm saying? It's like, boom. All right, you got the women's ranch jeans. Got a little cowboy. This is more my style right here. I don't like the little boot cuts because I don't be rocking the cowboy boots. Reformation coffee. Ooh, there's so many coffee brands in here, bruh. It's so good. So good. All right, let's go to Reformed Coffee. Let's hit their website real quick. Saying's gears turning. The vibe, you already know. Huh, this the whole site? This all y'all got? You got the sample packs and it says buy your favorite. All right, so choose your roast. Okay, here we go. I mean, they got options. They got a lot of options. You got whole bean. Is all of this whole bean? They don't got ground? I mean, you could grind them yourself. It's not hard to grind up whole beans. It's just convenience. You got to pay for the convenience. If you got your coffee, they got coffee in here. While we're on coffee, another one called Squirrely Joe's. What is this? This is Evers Forge Works, a certified blacksmith. What can you get from a certified blacksmith? What do you get from them? I feel like this is... Ooh! Oh, look at the knife. Oh, that's a knife. That's awesome. Imagine somebody breaking into your home and you just like slice, and just like this little part right here where it curves. And when you slice into the stem, you just twist it and then yank it back out. Oh, That's... Or you do a cooking outside video and you chop everything with this. Yeah, that'd be awesome. We went very dark for a second. We went very dark there. Oh, this is cool. Look at all the weapons. Oh, I love this site. This site is awesome. Oh, look. You got a chef knife. Look at this. Oh, look at these big butcher blades. So you can just chop the animal up yourself. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, I love this. This is great. This is awesome. Sang wonders why YouTube is censoring. It's not because of this. It's not because I like weapons. What? No. Look for battle hammers. Yo, if they have some Christian guy on here that makes it, I mean, yeah, that'd be awesome too. You said Mystic Monk Coffee? Let's look that up. The primal side? That is my primal side coming out. Yeah. Oh, they have the K-Pods. Yes, go this round. Ooh. Get out of here. Ooh, dark chocolate toffee. That sounds great. That sounds wonderful. Royal rum pecan. Ooh, white chocolate macadamia. You know this is the best. It's sold out. It's sold out because it sounds wonderful. How you gonna have something that sounds so good and I can't buy it? Come on, Mystic Monks. What's going on here? Oh, they got tea. Oh, I love tea too. And they have the loose leaf. This is wonderful. This is how you're supposed to buy tea. You're supposed to buy it like this. You're not supposed to get it like already in the little dippy bags. This is how you make tea. This is how I like to get it from the Asian market. What's this site? Here. You about to get bookmarked. You are being saved. I wonder if somebody mentioned this in this thread. I'd buy those if I was neck deep in debt. Yikes. Yeah, that got to get out of first. Said to me, it's made by monks in Utah. Nice. That's like the Jorge drinks a monk beer from I don't know where they're from, but some monks brew a beer that he drinks. Currently too broke to pay attention. Yikes. Don't tell you how to make your tea. Look, I'm not telling you how to make your tea. I'm just saying, you know, the best way is when it's loose leaf like that. That's all I'm saying. That's how they support themselves. That's actually kind of cool. Hold on, we have another one. Wire to Fire. This is the Judeo-Christian jewelry crafter. Ooh, aren't these pretty? Oh, I like these. Oh, look at this. The Celebrate Life pendants. This would actually be like a wonderful gift to give somebody that's about to have a baby. Okay, hold on. We got to go up here now. Hold on. Oh, they have a bunch of them. It says Celebrate Life, Birth, Adoption, and Pro-Life. Oh, it's so Judeo-Christian. Hold on, we got to see. What's in here? Can I just click this? Oh, I can. All right, phone. You're a little too loud. So we're going to go ahead and D&D. We're going to silence you real quick. You're a little too loud in the background. That looks a little, hold on. Necklaces. No necklaces. Boo. Honestly, they probably sold out because they have a lot of nice stuff. And they got the birthstones. All right, hold on. We got to look at February real quick. Ooh, this is fire. Okay. All right. I don't need to bookmark that because that's in my message. So that's always going to be there. So hold on, get out here. All right, we gotta do. It says Sola Gratia Company. That's for feminine t-shirts. I got some ladies watching. We'll pull it up. We'll pull it up real quick. We'll pull it up. Here it is. Here it is. This is actually kind of funny. I am the literal worst. 1 Timothy 1:15 / Romans 3rd. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, they have home decor too. Oh, they have a lot. They have a lot. Okay, wait. Apparel. And they got some for the fellas. Okay, fellas first. Oh, and kids. Okay, no, kids first. Kids first. Oh, they got the little onesies. This kind of fire. This kind of fire. See, this is how you do the rainbow. God is always faithful. This is how you do the rainbow tee. Imagine decorating home. This right here, this is the generation that'd be like, I'm not cooking or cleaning. You better learn to cook, clean. Hopefully your girl would keep the home. She would make your house a home. All right, we'll look for him. Hold on, this is on a girl. That said it's supposed to say for him. I don't know why you're clapping. I'm talking about you. Oh, it's a Paul Washington. I'm like, what? You said, yo, what? Yo, girl. She's the one that will turn your house into a home the day you get one. This right here, do more of what makes you holy. That's a fire tee. Theology matters. That's a dope hoodie. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. This is fire too. Okay, well, we have. You keep saying you're not getting married. You're just saying that because you're 16. I used to say the same stupid stuff. You're going to get married one day. My mom had to tell me to stop buying home decor. That's funny. I know when I lived with my mom, if I would have been buying home decor, she would have loved it. That would have been the issue in the house because she always bought it. So if I did the same that she did, our house would have been cluttered. Confession, got new silicone mixing tools and retired wooden kitchen tool. A silicone mixing tool and retired the wooden one? Oh, so you just upgraded. Ain't nothing wrong with the upgrade. You love kitchen stuff? Same. The kitchen, that gotta be outside of my office. That's like my favorite room in the house. That's my favorite room. It'd be funny, the Christian Discord I'm in, I be sharing all the food I make on the weekend with them. Cause they don't cook in there. It's a bunch of young kids. And if y'all watching right now, my bad. Look, but I'm just being real. Like, it's a bunch of like college kids and some high school kids. And they have like a food tab. And they be putting like gummy snacks in there and donut sticks and whatnot. And they be like, yeah, this slaps. And I'm just like, this isn't food. This is a food tab. Please cook some food. I want to see what y'all can make. Please cook food. And that's the type of stuff they put in there. So I just been like, starting like recently, I was like, you know what? Every time I cook something, I'm just going to put it in there. Because I'm just tired of seeing gummy snacks and donuts. Like, oh, that's fire. That's actually awesome. You said y'all ran out of, wow, you ran out of everything. You ran out of wall, stand, and shelf. You and my mom would be the best of friends. I'm telling you right now. Telling you right now. Hey, this coffee spot, I ain't gonna lie, I had to thank them for this. This coffee spot looked fire. I saw the pods, because you got some flavor. Look at this, tropical sunrise. You know what this flavor is right here? Hold on. You got that flowery aroma with the hints of the raspberry. I just know that's fire. I gotta buy that. They got a whole flavored section on here somewhere. Here it is. All of this sounds just amazing. You got the chocolate almond, island getaway, black cherry, cherry cordial. It's about to be fire. All right, what else they got? What else they got? We can't keep showing. Can't keep showing coffee and stuff. You got Christian homeschool curriculum. We done talked about that before. Actually, let's pull this up. My Father's World. Christian curriculum for homeschools, micro schools, and schools in general. And it goes preschool to 12th grade. I'm with it. I actually randomly read a homeschool thread earlier today where a bunch of women were basically saying how they homeschooled their kids. And they said at most, their kids only learned for 3 hours out the day. And then the rest of the day, they just kind of did whatever, you know, helping around the house, play outside, take them to museum or whatever. That was like their day with the kids. And a lot of people said their kids actually tested out way higher than, like, you know, the public school kids and stuff, which I agree with them, because if you think about how it was when we all went to public school, those of us that did go to public school, if you think about a regular public school day, most of the day is nonsense. Like, we really could be in there for 4 hours max if they want to justify feeding us. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be in school all day long. At that point, it's just daycare. It's just a place for us to be babysat. Because outside of like your core classes, why do we need gym and music and art and all them other classes? Those were just filler classes. We did not actually need those things, right? Especially when you get to high school, then you be having study halls, lunches and all that. All that just fills out your day. You don't need to do all of that. So I completely believe all of them. I believe all that. But they be like, oh yeah, my kid only went to school for 2-3 hours a day. They tested out an XYZ percentile. Yeah, this right here. I only did schoolwork for like 4 hours. Yeah. I believe you. Because when I think about all the time I was in school, when I was in high school, we started at like 7:45 or some crap. We started early. We started super early in the morning. And then we got out of school at like 2:30, 2:45. That's way too long. And most of the day, which made it worse, because they created something called a small school so I had to do that for 11th and 12th grade. Because I picked STEM, because I still don't understand why they broke us into small schools. They wouldn't let me graduate a year early because my school didn't allow it, even though I had enough credits to graduate. So my whole 12th grade year, I swear on everything, was study halls and lunch. I took one class. I took a class called Cisco just because they wouldn't let me go home. I couldn't leave at 12. They wouldn't let me do the college program. They wouldn't let me graduate a year early. I was just there. And that literally, it led to me missing like 30 something days of school my 12th grade year because I just kept calling myself off and not showing up. Because I was like, what's the point? I'm not doing anything. And then Cisco was really, we played computer games all day. Like somebody installed, what was that game called? Like they put Quake or something in there. It was some first person shooter game because all the computers were connected. So we all just logged into that and we all just playing video games the whole day. Like for 3 periods straight. School's a joke. School's just a big joke. Homeschool your kids. Hey, yo, they got handcrafted soap. Ooh, fire. I kind of already know how to make my own, so I would bypass this. Saying you should not have skipped. Why? Why? So I could sit in study halls for 5 periods straight? Because that literally would have been my day. It actually would have been, I'm sorry, because I had lunch. So 4 periods straight and then a lunch. KL said I had 7 classes every day until 10th grade. I was pre-block period. What does that mean? School is a joke. Amen. Facts. Facts. School is a joke. school was sketchy back then, but way worse now. Yeah, with all the indoctrination, it's like, I agree with you. It is way worse now. I shouldn't have skipped because it's wrong. What's more wrong? Them holding up my time and not allowing me to advance? Or me staying home to just kind of do whatever I wanted because I would have been doing nothing in school all day. This another coffee company? Yo, there's stuff. Whoops, I didn't mean to click that. Apparel companies. Hey, for all the gardeners out there, this place is called Baker Creek. And then this is called St. Clair Heirloom Seeds. Okay. Oh, they both popped up. Hey. And these are by 2 Christian families. Oh, I love this. This is a great thread. I didn't even get this far. Hey, this is rare seeds. Yo. Look at all the stuff you can grow. This is perfect. When I get my bigger house, I'm gonna have a garden in the back. Y'all gonna get gardening videos once that happens. That's gonna be the best time. I promise y'all. Ooh, they got all the good stuff. Ooh, I like this. Hold on. All right, where the bookmark? Yeah, we gotta bookmark this one too. You staying home was more wrong. How? I did nothing in both places. Tech boy, you need to understand, I should have actually graduated after 11th grade. They wouldn't allow me to graduate because my school didn't allow it in their rules or whatever. The schools were a joke because the year I graduated, the very next year, which is when my husband's little brother, that would have been 2007, he was like, hey, so they got rid of it. And me and him were so salty because we're like, what? We had to do small schools for like 2 years. Yep, I know. They got rid of it. So I don't have to do it this year. They got rid of all that. So there was no point. I could have graduated once I was done with 11th grade. There was a lot that happened because I was like, I'm already advanced. Let me be part of the college program. So I could just come here in the morning, get on the bus, and go down to the community college to just start my college career because I'm not doing anything here. Sorry, we can't allow that because of the small school you're in. Like, my mom even cussed them out on the phone and went up there. She was like, it doesn't make sense that she's up here all day doing nothing. She's literally doing nothing. Let her leave. No, we can't do that. And then what made me more mad, I'm telling my mom, I'm like, just let me get the GED and we can call this a wrap. Because this is a waste of my time. And then I could just go down to the community college myself for like a year. You're not getting your GED because I want to see you walk the stage. I couldn't win. She's like, no child of mine is getting a GED. It's equivalent to the diploma. They're ruining me right now. Just let me do it. No, I'm going to see you walk the stage. Doesn't make any sense. Because now I have to stay here. And we're all knowing I'm not doing anything. Even the counselor's like, yeah, I know, but she has to just take the study halls all day. For what? The class I'm in, we don't have homework. We play video games in class all day. So I'm just going to one classroom and sitting there and just talking to people all day, bored. I might as well stay home. We wasn't doing nothing. We was literally not doing anything. Never let schooling get in the way of your education. I mean, the school got in the way of my education. School teaches to the lowest common denominator. Smart kids are often bored and anxious. Our school, so the school I went to, their grade level is an F. So if you guys actually watched the video I put out this morning and I showed the school, I went by it and everything, the grade level is still an F. So they had me in honors and advanced placement and all that. But because we were rated F, It wasn't the best teaching. Therefore, I was still bored in a lot of them classes. That's why I got so many credits so I can like graduate early. It just didn't make sense. You said by 10th grade, you had 3 classes and work job for grade, working at a garage, any free time. Now, see, that's awesome. I wish I could have did that. My mom, because I had a job at the time, my mom was even trying to like negotiate with them. She's like, look, a bunch of other kids be leaving here by 11 or 12 and they go to work. Just let her do that. No, she can't because the school she's in. Stupid. It's so stupid. The school made money while you're being in class. They probably did. They probably did. That's why they needed a butt in the seat. It was unjust, but rule breaking is not right. There's nothing wrong with breaking the rules if you're doing it for a certain reason, Tech Boy. So, for example, we just watched the video of the guy getting arrested because he was protesting at the Pride Parade. I think sitting there, or like the lady silently praying and getting arrested for that, I think because that they technically were breaking some stupid rule. I think that was just because they were out there for a reason. They were proving a point. Me staying home was proving the point of how stupid that was, that they wouldn't let me leave or do anything. Public schools make money by head count, not performance. I did not know that. That's crazy. I actually didn't know that, John. Ain't a rule that ain't worth breaking. Facts. I hated homework, but homework was a third of my grade. I would ace everything else, but the lack of homework pulled my grades down. That sucks, because I feel like homework really was a waste of time, too. It was like a super waste. Because look what you just said. You obviously understood everything because you aced everything else. They just want to waste your time by having you do more schoolwork at home that's unneeded. Don't make no sense. It's stupid. Yeah, school was a joke. Hey, what's going on, Jasmine? Welcome to the stream. They made me take easier classes, so I slept through my classes and still aced the test. Yeah, school's a joke. Homeschool if y'all can. Just homeschool. Yes, it is sad but true. They drag things along by always promising new changes are going to see payoffs soon. We know that's a lie. I spoke about that in the video I dropped earlier too. My school got all them millions and we came back and they was like, y'all like it? And we was like, you painted the walls. You painted the lockers. What'd y'all do with the millions of dollars? Oh yeah, no, that's what we did. Y'all like it? That ain't all the money. It's like, you good. Y'all some liars. Y'all some liars. Y'all pocketed that money. That's what happened. Look at this right here. Y'all probably in the same house and he like, hey girl, what's going on? How much that paint costs? Not millions. I can tell you that much. They pocketed that money. Hey y'all, since Jasmine in here, I can share with y'all. So if you didn't see the video, at the very end, so I'm starting a podcast channel and I'm starting it with Jasmine. And the first episode should go live at the end of this week. So hold on, let me share the link with y'all. I'm gonna share this link. Y'all go ahead and sub. Let me paste it up in here. That's the link to the podcast channel. Let me pin it too. Let me also click it. Yeah, it works. I had to make sure I got the right one. But yeah, we started a podcast channel together. It's a Christian podcast. If y'all like her content and my content, which I know y'all do because y'all already watch it, y'all gonna like the podcast channel, man. I'm telling y'all. Go ahead and sub. The first video should be up by the end of this week. That's all I'm gonna say. See, she even said it. She's like, we are literally in the same room. I kind of figured. My mom was never strict about my school attendance or school. I mean, you were homeschooled. I would hope not. That'd be kind of crazy. Can you imagine you like 1 minute late getting to the living room? And it'd be like, I can't believe you're late today. This is how we're going to start. You're going to get detention after school, young missy. You'd be like, what? I'm a minute late. I just wanted to get a glass of juice. What are we talking about? Oh, when you attended public school. Oh, yikes. My bad. You said you were homeschooled. I thought you were talking about homeschool. My bad, just a girl. My bad. On subscriber number 6. Hey, that's what's up. I hit the button late. My bad. Oh, until 6th grade. Okay. My bad. I didn't know. This right here. Thank y'all for all the subs so far. We appreciate y'all. Y'all gonna love it, man. Y'all gonna love it. It's about to be dope. I can't wait till y'all see it. It's gonna be awesome. I already know it is. God already showed me what it's gonna be like. So I'm good. Oh, I had it backwards. Okay. So you were in public school until 6. And then 7th through 12th, you were homeschooled. Oh, you were homeschooled in like the best years. Because public school would have sucked during that time period. I got you. All right, we should probably pull another video. I think I'm safe now. Because, you know, every time we talk about certain things, I get nuked. YouTube just be nuking my stuff, which is stupid. That's what I said. I was like, they don't like me. Okay, let's do this video. It's from Isaiah Robin. He said George Janko leaves the Logan Paul show. If you don't know, George Janko is a Christian. I don't watch Logan Paul, Jake Paul, all of them. I don't watch them. So I'm gonna be real with you. Didn't know he left, but apparently he did. I could take a wild guess on why. He was the only Christian on that podcast. And considering how Logan and the other guy acted a lot of the times, George's spirit probably just didn't feel right. I'm go on the limb and say that's what it was. We gonna see what happens. You said I still have some crazy stories about my elementary school days, though. I bet you do. One day I'll probably do a stream where y'all could just come on if y'all want. And we could just y'all could just tell stories or talk or whatever. So if the day I do that, you're going to have to run one of them stories. You're going to have to run one of them.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters? I pray you guys had a great weekend.
I'm going to have to bump this up a little bit. Today.
George Janko left Impulsive.
There we go.
Not too sure how long ago, but it just came to my attention that he's officially left Impulsive. He started his own little podcast. For those who don't know who this is, right? He was friends, or I believe he still is friends, but he just left Impulsive. Friends with Logan Paul. Logan Paul is one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, right? And has one of the biggest podcasts in the world. That podcast being Impulsive, which George Janko was a part of. George Janko and whoever this other guy is, Mike or something like that, right? But recently, you know,
this right here. All right, you got to share this one the day I share the link. The day I share the link. You never heard of him, K-Elf? Okay. So this is George Janko right here, the short guy. So he's the Christian, right? This is Logan Paul from the Paul brothers. They're both, him and Jake. They didn't get their fame from doing the best things. I'll just say that. I have no clue who this guy is. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I don't know. I never watched the podcast. I think we did maybe one or two videos on my channel talking about George before, because he done went through stuff with these two before on that podcast, because their demon activity was clashing with his Christianity. That's probably going to be the best way to say that. It's going to be the best way to say that. Paul Bros equals fame for fame's sake. Yeah, that's probably the best way of putting that.
George Janko has been talking about the Lord a lot. To the Impulsive fans, I'm so sorry I can't speak about things, not my choice. So I must.
He's definitely on a contract or an NDA or something where he can't speak on it.
Be some legal action there.
Yeah.
I do love you guys, and for those of you sending me the clip of them talking, yes, it's all love. I've already moved on from that toxic environment.
That's crazy, because the three of them were like supposedly friends. And he's gone, and apparently they're talking mess about him after the fact. I'm not shocked. I totally believe it was a toxic environment.
So that's him talking about the toxic environment that was with Impulsive. Right? He was on that show for a good while. I believe he grew up with Logan Paul. Not too sure. But here's my thing. I'm going to play a video in a minute, too. Here's my thing. When I started seeing him talking about Jesus Christ.
This right here.
On the show. Well, I don't really watch the show, but I've seen clips of the show, him talking about Jesus Christ. When you are in an environment, right, that is not of Christ, and you begin to surrender yourself, you begin to come into submission of the Lord, the more the word engrafts in you, the more you're not going to like different things in your environment.
Facts.
Hallelujah. When I first came to the Lord and I completely surrendered myself and came into submission of Christ, and I would walk into stores like Best Buy or stores in the mall, I would hear different music that was not resonating with my soul. It was interrupting my spirit in a bad way. So I bought Beats headphones to put on when I went to stores. So I'd be listening to godly music when I'd walk into these stores and they'd be playing music. I'd be listening to godly music, even in the gym, because the more the word engrafted in me, the more different things in the world would interrupt my spirit, right? And so you have a man right here who started talking about the Lord more, who started getting closer to the Lord more, and the Lord's, engrafting in him. The more you seek God, the more God is going to, impart himself in you.
Facts.
That's what's going on. Clearly, the environment got more and more toxic because the Lord is growing in him more and more.
So let me tell y'all a story real quick. If you've been here long enough, you probably know that I have a cousin, but we're so close, like call each other siblings, essentially. I noticed, like, and I had to really think back on a lot of things too, because I also really just ignored a lot of things just for sake of relationship, well up until everything that happened. But I noticed that when it came to like me and my cousin, the more I started coming around after becoming Christian, I started noticing certain things after like I would leave like his house or his studio or whatever. And I would still try to like, just be like, whatever, like shake it off. But I noticed the more we spent time with each other and I would like walk back out to my car and start driving home, I'd feel like a little off. Like it didn't seem right. You know what I'm saying? Until it got to the point where like, after we had worked on that one video in Steubenville together, and it was the day like editing was done, he gave me the video. I was with my husband that day and we got in the car. And I remember telling my husband, I was just like, every time I leave here, everything just feels so off and weird. And I was like, I think now that we're done with this, I need like a break. from being around him all the time. Because it's like I love him and we're family, but it's like every other day and talking and stuff, I can't keep feeling like this because my spirit feels like off. It just feels weird, you know? And unfortunately, that ended up turning into like a way bigger issue like a couple days later. I thought it was like an anthill. He kind of turned it into like a mountain, and we haven't spoken since. And that's really not how I wanted things to turn out. Like, I kind of just wanted to take that break and we sparingly go back to seeing each other like we used to. But I get what he's saying when you're around certain things after getting Christ into your life, because I felt it. And it wasn't just with him either. There was other people in my life as well that I noticed, like up until this point, I really stopped talking to on a whole, because every time I would be around them or talk to them, it would just feel weird. Everything would feel weird and off after our conversations. And I'm like, I don't like feeling this way. You know what I'm saying? And I knew what it was because out of me and every person I had that feeling with, they weren't religious. So I'm pretty sure that was probably like the Holy Spirit or something telling me like, hey, stop being around this individual or whatnot. And that is also why Jesus said he came to separate. He didn't come to like that hippie loving version we all know of. But that's what happened with a few people like in my life. Because I remember when I talked to Roxy and she was mentioning how like at some point you were going to like lose friends and family. And I was like, nah, you know. And then I had that conversation with Gothics and she was like, have you lost anybody yet? Oh, you haven't? Wow, lucky so far. And I was just like, what? Like, what are you talking about? You know, it's like, I'm like, that doesn't happen. And then it happened. So, but like, I get it now. Cause at first it sucked. But like, once you start thinking back on some things, and it was weird. I also started seeing the same scripture around the time with all of that. And it's weird because it was about what was happening. It's not like I looked for it. I still haven't read like the whole Bible yet, right? It'd be like scripture from parts I haven't read yet just kept randomly popping up and I'm reading it. And I'm like, huh, that's weird. I'm like, that's about this situation. Why does this keep randomly popping up? But I know that's God. That's God talking to me. That's the Holy Spirit saying, hey, this was going to happen. This is why this is happening. And it's okay that this happened. We did this for a reason. You know what I'm saying? It is like the sugar substitute aftertaste when you're around your godless friends after being saved. That's a good way of putting that. That's a good way. Yeah, so hard when you love your unsaved friends. Yeah, it is. Saying you have evolved, you are different now to them. Let them approach you. That's a good way of putting it. Said poor saint. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think who's ever supposed to be in my life at this point is supposed to be there. And I think that's just what it is, right? So, why certain things may suck, and I did take a lot of that bad in the beginning, in terms of like emotion and all that, it's cool, and I get it now, and it's fine, right? Look at Tyrant. Ew, sugar substitute is gross. Pray for their salvation. I don't know why that was just funny how you wrote that. Pray daily for them. Yeah. And it's funny because I prayed daily for them too, because his wife was pregnant at the time. She done been had the kid. Now obviously because we ain't talking. I ain't never seen the kid, but like I pray for them all the time. And this is what it is, you know. It's hard when it's family too. It is hard. It is.
Right. Now, is he in full submission? Is he in full surrender? I'm not one to say that. I don't really know his life like that. I just know what I see in front of me, right? But not supposedly, he's got his own podcast now. He's switched over to his own thing.
That's true.
And I just want to play you guys 2 videos, one of these, of him talking about the Lord on Impulsive. Check it out.
One that really hurt me is you told me I need a therapist because I believe in Jesus. That one hurt me.
No, I didn't. I said you need a therapist because Jesus isn't quite doing it for you.
What do I need a therapist
Yikes.
for then?
Jesus isn't doing it for you. And I
What do
believe
I need
you're,
a therapist for?
I don't believe you're as emotionally mature as you could be.
What do I need a therapist for?
To get you to level up.
In what?
See, there goes the top.
That's wild. He said, I think you need a therapist because Jesus isn't doing it for you. Logan, if you understood Jesus, like, you wouldn't be saying that. That's kind of crazy.
The toxicity. Jesus isn't doing it for you. Who do you think he's getting that from? It's not God. It's not God, ladies and gentlemen. And George Janko started to feel that clearly and decided to part ways, decided to separate himself. Not just
All right, Just a Girl, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate seeing you here. You'll all be in my prayers. Aw. You guys are always in my prayers, too. I love that we all pray for each other. That is, like, the most wonderful thing. I hope you have a blessed night, and I hope you have a easy day at work tomorrow. Ain't nothing wrong with no easy days at work.
in an external manner, but spiritually, people like this can bring you to a place where you begin to separate yourself from the Lord, right? Because they're pulling on you, same time God is pulling on you. What's on them is pulling on you, same time God is pulling on you. That's why I say sacrifice everything, leave everything when you start walking with the Lord, because things can pull you back into the world. Things can pull you back into a life of sin.
Facts.
Yourself.
Here we go, right here. I love when y'all give me the verses. 2 Corinthians 2 and then 12 to 17. Let's hit this one. We can leave it on NIV. There's nothing wrong with that. Ministers of the new covenant. Now, when I went to Troas? Troas? How you pronounce this? I'm about to put, yeah, here we go.
Troas, Turkey. Troas, Turkey.
Oh, I was right. It was Troas. Okay. Now, when I went to Troas to preach the gospel of Christ and found that the Lord had opened a door for me, I still had no peace of mind because I did not find my brother Titus there. So I said goodbye to them and went on to Macedonia. But thanks be to God who always leads us as captives in Christ's triumphal procession and uses us to spread the aroma of the knowledge of him everywhere. For we are to God the pleasing aroma of Christ among those who are being saved and those who are perishing. To the one we are an aroma that brings death, to the other an aroma that brings life. And who is equal to such a task? Unlike so many, we do not peddle the word of God for profit. On the contrary, in Christ we speak before God with sincerity as those sent from God. Ooh, this is kind of fire. Read this right here. For we are to God the pleasing aroma of Christ among those who are being saved and those who are perishing. And then you get to this. To the one, we are an aroma that brings death. To the other, an aroma that brings life. So basically this part right here, to the one, we are an aroma that brings death. Them the people that can't stand us. That's what that means. That's literally what that means. Whereas this one right here, to those that want to hear the word, they want to change their life, or they've already changed it and they just want to hear it some more. That's what that is. Oh, that was a good passage. I like that. Yeah, the verse when you clear out one demon, he comes back with 7 or something, so be vigilant. All the time. That's why it's called spiritual warfare. He said Bible names always tripping me up. They are, man. I don't know why in the beginning everything had to be so hard and complicated. It's like, what were y'all thinking of when you came up with a lot of this? Like, I don't understand.
In what category?
Emotional intelligence.
Emotional. Me.
Yes.
Do you think that is something?
That's crazy. Logan Paul said George needed emotional intelligence. Yikes. Logan Paul.
Thing a loving human being would say
I
to
do.
somebody.
I love you, and I don't think Jesus is evolving you in a way that you could be.
I don't think
Yikes. Spoken as somebody who does not understand Jesus or the gospel or anything. That's a crazy thing to say. You said, so, cigarette smoke versus incense smoke. Oh, for the passage. That's literally, yeah. That's actually a good way of putting that. Because one gives you lung cancer and one smells amazing. So, yeah. That lined up with exactly what that verse was saying.
Jesus is evolving you in the way you could be. Now, this is a man who has everything he wants as far as material. He is loaded. He is rich.
This right here.
But
This
yet
is
he's
crazy.
still poor.
George was so nice. There was
Yet
I think the clip I did on my channel was when they had got into it or something, and I think George was at home with his wife. I think that's how the story went. He was at home with his wife, and he said he got a crazy like feeling to just pray for Logan and the other guy out of nowhere. And it's like, I know you're mad, but just pray for them and yada yada yada. And he said he did. And I think that next podcast is when Logan apologized to George, because I think a lot of people started coming at all sides suing him and doing hit pieces and stuff on him because he ran a scam crypto called CryptoZoo, I think. It was something crazy like that. And George was like, yeah, I had this weird like feeling where like God or somebody was telling me to just pray for you and give you forgiveness and yada yada yada. And because of what was happening at the time, Logan was like, George, I'm so sorry. He said it was on the podcast. So I was like, that's crazy that it took George saying this for you to apologize when you and the other guy were just a jerk for like no reason prior to that. So, but obviously that lasted 1 second because George ain't on the show no more. Fame is Logan's God. That is true. That is true, and it's sad. That's most famous people, influencers, all that. It's sad. Money is not always wealth. Humans do confuse the two. Yeah, but when you have people like him, where they like money is like everything to them. And I would know, I used to live on that side of the fence. But I was still depressed, and I couldn't figure out for the life of me why I was depressed. And it just, I don't know. Like, I get it now, but at the time, I didn't really get it. He ran a crypto animal scam. Yeah. Yeah, it was called like CryptoZoo or something. It was weird.
He's still poor. It doesn't matter how much money you get if you do not have the Lord.
This right
You'll
here.
find out. Actually, there's already a video of him talking about how
Until he gets right with God, he's always going to be spiritually poor. And we already know what's going to happen if he passes before he gets that in check. We know how it's going to be. Hey, Jorge, welcome back to the stream. You notice how a lot of these rich people are still miserable. Yep. Because money doesn't fix it. Doesn't fix any of it. I know that from firsthand experience.
he disrespected
Fixes
Christ,
nothing.
and then all kind of bad things happened to him. So he
Yup.
apologized.
KL said it too.
Logan Paul. There's a video I
Yup.
made on it's one of my episodes. You guys can go back and check it out. I'll probably put it on a clip at the end of this
Yup.
video. One of the videos you can check out.
It's sad.
But he has everything. He's rich. You know, everything that the world can give you. But yet he's still poor. He lacks wisdom. He lacks spiritual wisdom. He's too caught up in this matrix. He's too caught up in this physical realm. My brother, this world is not forever, Lolo. This world is not forever.
People don't
Now,
understand
here's my
that.
other question. Did anyone here in this room at all, realistically, know I was going through something? The 2 years that I had the hardest years of my life. The only person that was there wasn't family, wasn't friends, wasn't coworkers. It was my Jesus Christ.
Amen. When he was going through it, the only person that was there was
Jesus.
Was Jesus Christ.
And he'll always be there.
How many of us can relate to that?
Whereas man will hurt you, God will never hurt you, and God will always be there. Man will come and go. You might get lucky. Like, your spouse might be there with you until death, and you might have that one friend or family member or whatever. But, like, generally speaking, overall, man will usually come and go. They'll usually hurt you. Things will happen. God will never hurt you.
How many of us can relate to that? Because a lot of times when we're going through things emotionally, there's nothing that a human being really can do. We need God.
Yep.
Amen.
George, what's up with that interpretation of the Bible? That's
That's
one of the
not right.
That's one of the things about the Bible that it confuses me.
Bro, you didn't read the Bible.
Well, because
That can
what
confuse
if
you if
I
you don't read the
interpreted it
Bible.
like that? Well, how can there?
Bro, that's
it's
not in
just
the
up for
Bible.
interpretation.
You know what's in the Bible? Be careful of wolves that are disguised as sheep. There's a lot of priests.
Which
that
one?
touch
Am
kids.
I a sheep?
You know what I'm saying? There's evil everywhere, bro. If I was the devil, I would do two things. One, make you not believe in me, because then if you don't believe in me, you don't believe in God. And then
Atheists. Shout out
Facts.
atheists.
Facts.
George Zango just took.
two, I would make you think I'm God.
Shout out
Facts.
Satanists. George Zango just-
Facts. That's exactly what it is. All the money in the world can't buy a second or time. Time well spent with friends is priceless, not eternal. This world has nothing for me, and this world has everything. All that I could want and nothing that I need. Caedmon's Call? Codman's Call. Caedmon's Call. You know what? I'll let the reader decide who's ever watching this.
just took.
And then you would worship me in your own way. You know what humans want to do? They want
Actually, there's a lot of Satanists who don't even believe that there's a devil. So both of those were shots at Satanists.
You know what's funny about Satanism? The guy who created it. They said his final words on his deathbed was, "Oh no, what have I done?" And then he passed on. Can you imagine what he must have saw? The whole time he's alive and he creates this thing and he's just like, haha, this is just what it is. God isn't real. And then right on his deathbed, them last seconds as he starts slipping away and he sees what it really is and he saw that lake of fire, he's like, oh nah, what did I do? I know he saw hell. I know he saw hell for real. I know he saw it. Look at this. Look what Jasmine said. When I woke up from a coma, this is from her testimony. She spoke about this in her interview with Kyle. But she said, when I woke up from a coma, the only thing I cared about was God, family, and making the most of my life. Facts. Facts. She didn't wake up and say, woo, another day to be a millionaire. First thing I'm about to do is make this paper. I ain't got time for family or anybody else. No, she said the only thing she cared about was God, family, and making the most of her life. Following whatever road God got her on, whatever her purpose is, and he got her here for. Y'all go watch that video too. She right on, matter of fact, because she spoke about it in that interview. We're going to pull it up. Because Kyle's about to skirt on past it, and then she was like, hold on, can I got to tell you this. And she laid it all down.
I am joined today by
Like, I don't remember timestamp, but like, because I watched it live. But just watch it. Just watch the whole thing. Watch the whole thing when y'all get a chance. That's the link right there. Everybody knows who it is. That's why the videos, when people be like, I blacked out from doing XYZ. I saw what it was. My life changed. I gave it over to God. Do people not understand? No atheist is going to go to sleep and then wake up and be like, whoa, what a nap, time to believe in God. No, they saw something. Something happened. Something definitely happened for them to wake up and be like, it's all going to God now. I'm changing my life around. You don't just wake. Now, sometimes people don't get it, right? That one video we watched where the Asian guy, he saw what it was and he was on fire for God, but then he was still hanging with the same group of friends. So then he reverted back to drinking and smoking and all this stuff till the next thing happened. And then he was like, oh, snap. Oh, that's right. Let me get it together. It took a while for him because he reverted back a few times, right? But There's a reason when people see what they see and they come out immediately and say what they say. Now, if they stay on that path, that's up to them if they stay on that path or not. But they saw something or experienced something while they was out. My dad went through it before. In that story I told y'all in that video where I saw him legally die and they brought him back and everything. Oh, that was the first time in my life I ever saw him do what he was supposed to do. He was going to the workout classes. He was eating right. He thanked the fire department that saved him. They had like a whole banquet honoring them dudes. He was on it and then reverted back. Went right back downhill. I don't know what happened to get to that point, but that's literally what happened. But it happens. It depends on the person. Remember that you are being purified by the burning love of Jesus. How come Tyre 50 is at the top of the screen? Cause she's the top donator so far. So she donated $50 one day. So that slot, cause that's just how it came. I never made it like that, cause this is like a whole layout that you can just like pre-install. But she donated like $50 one day to the backpack drive I have going on. So since she's top donator so far, it's gonna stay up there till somebody else like out donates her.
Satan is really listen to me. You got Satanists out here who do all kind of rituals for Satan, and then go and say they don't believe in Satan. I wonder if that's in the book. Act like you don't believe me or something. Like, you do all that to what? Make Christians upset? What kind of buffoonery is this? You do all that, hail Satan, all of that, and then go back and say there is no God, there is no devil. What kind of brainwash do you got to be involved in?
I want to take their lifestyle and put it on a higher power and be like, well, my God's okay with it. I want multiple wives. They come with multiple wives.
Oh, shoot. There it is. Shot at Muslims. George Janko just took a shot at Muslims. What's going on, brother?
There's so many things that people want, and they change their beliefs. If you want it really bad, you can have it whatever you want.
Like, in the Bible, like, you know, a lot of people...
So I think this is Gideon. Gideon claims he's a Christian. And he grew up, like, he has the Bible from when he, like, grew up and he went to church. And it's, like, it's highlighted. And you could tell it's been used, right? My issue with Gideon is how he lives his lifestyle now. And then when he speaks on the Bible, like, now, today, it's not sound, like, at all. Like, a lot of the times, he don't know what he's talking about. So, I don't think he truly lives, like, a Christian lifestyle behind the scenes, because... there's a lot, like, you gotta remember, I'm in, like, my first year, and I know so much more than him, which is crazy, because this is, like, somebody who apparently grew up in the church and was, like, heavy into reading the Bible and highlighting everything. My man don't remember nothing. So, it's hard to take his word on a lot of stuff.
3 shots there. Atheists, not believing in God, and Satanists, right? Making the devil making you think he's...
He said that is why we are supposed to spend time in the word daily, easy to fall away. That is facts. That is facts. Dark entertainment is a new 90s horrorcore and shock rock. I wonder though, because everything also comes down to like discernment. Well, I didn't listen to shock rock. Never mind. I was gonna say something, but never mind, because there's a lot of stuff I didn't watch for that comment. This is why you pray for people who have passed on. If you have a loved one who might be in purgatory, it makes their time short. That's because he highlighted too much and can't find the important parts per the Babylon Bee. I don't know. I thought the whole highlighting thing was so you can memorize better. That's why I bought some highlighters for like the parts I've been reading.
These guys saying this. The multiple wives, Muslims. and different.
But it can also be what John said. Like, this is why we're supposed to spend time in the Word daily, because it's easy to fall away. I mean, because the guy, he had a shirt set that says professional raw dogger. His content isn't very depictive of a Christian either. Gideon makes some crazy content. So, you know, read and then reflect. Yeah. Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
Different religions too. I just know for a fact it's Muslims believe that you can have more than one wife. I actually just read that surah the other day. Yeah, I just read that surah the other day. I forgot which surah it is actually. But they do believe you can have multiple wives. I showed y'all a video before.
Okay. I got you.
Of Muhammad Hijab and
Hey, welcome to the stream, bro. I ain't seen you in like a minute. Actually, I used to see the comments on the videos, but I haven't been doing videos. But hey, welcome to the stream.
Forgot what the Ali Dawa talking about. You can have another wife and not tell your first wife. Now these are people that's big in Islam. You can have another wife without telling your first wife. Anyways, that's another story. Right.
Yeah, stay on the George topic.
But oh, here it is.
Oh, never mind, you found it.
3. Surah 3 talks about marrying 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 women.
Yeah, just been getting my life together, to be honest. It's cool, bro. It's cool. I hope you got it. I hope everything is cool now. It's nice to be back. Hey, that's what's up. I'm glad you back, bro. I'm glad you back. Totally off topic, but digital Bibles are cool. I have one on my iPad. Note-taking capabilities are endless. Yeah, I got the apps. The apps are dope too. I don't have a, oh yeah, we do. You know what? Because it's not mine. That's why I don't think of it. It's my husband's. That's why I don't think to use it. That actually would be like way better, but it's all right. I'll keep reading the big thick book.
Yeah, we know as followers of Christ in the Word of God, it says to have a wife and have a husband. It tells us to treat our wives as Christ did the church, and he died for the church. So, you know what I mean. But, yeah, very interesting and very wise of George Janko to leave. Very wise, you know. I think this is an interesting story because it's a lot of you who don't want to leave different situations. And I pray that this video gives you conviction on that. I pray that this video gives you confirmation on that.
Yeah.
It's time to leave.
Yeah. It really is. Like I said earlier, I dealt with it. And you know, when it's like really close friends or family or whatever, it's hard, right? It's extremely hard. But I promise you, it's for a reason. God is doing what he's doing for a reason. And it's for your betterment. I promise you. So you just have to trust God with everything that's happening. That's all you have to do. So start thinking about if you're in those toxic environments or situations or whatever, start thinking about removing yourself. Mary Shelley, welcome to the stream. Was raised in a sin hole. Recently picked up a Bible in like 2022 April. Hey, that's what's up. If I ever have a bad moment, I just pop it open to a random page and those words always help. Yeah, they do. That's like, to go back to Jasmine saying she has the digital Bible. I like following on Instagram. I like following the Bible quote pages. So as soon as you hop on, that's all you're seeing in your feed, right? Now, I also follow cooking and cat videos. So it's like, it's peppered up in there. So you get like a kitty, a food recipe, Bible quote, Bible quote, Bible quote, Bible quote, and just verses, verses, verses. You know what I'm saying? But it's the same thing. I love it. I love it. And you know what's crazy? The way the Holy Spirit works digitally, whatever you're going through, a verse is going to pop up that needs you. So it's the same way of how you say when you pick up the Bible and you go to a random page, that's the Holy Spirit guiding you and showing you what you need to see. That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. That button made my day. You're welcome. Hey, Maddie May, welcome to the stream. You said this your go-to? Let's pull it up. Let's pull it up. You said Matthew. I already know what this is. Matthew 6. And then 25:34. Boom. And we got the, I'm going to leave the NIV version up like last time. Be right back. Pizza time? All right, John. All right, Jorge, give me 1 second because I saw you and Tyree both sent me something at the same time. So Matthew 6, 25:34 says, do not worry. Therefore, I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you, you of little faith? So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? For the pagans run after all these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. Oh, that's fire. That's fire. I already knew what you were about to say. And it's funny because when I got to this part right here, so in the KJV, it says, ye of little faith. All of this is in the Old Historian, but that's it. That's exactly what I was thinking in my head was the KJV version. I love this, but this is true. Why worry about all this stuff? God got you. You ain't got to worry about how you going to eat. God going to provide it. Your food, your shelter, your clothes, your whole life, God got you. And I wish a lot of us would like just lean into that more, right? Instead of be worried and stressed out all the time. Oh no, what am I going to do? I'm going to be like, calm down. What you worrying for? God got you. You good. You'll be all right.
Often the structure.
Let's get this set up and then, what is this? Oh, this is a little G. I was about to say a little GIF. A GIF. It's a GIF. Oh, it says, Jesus, I trust in you. Aw. I like that, Jorge. I like that. All right, let's do this video. Tyree just sent a video. It's from the Center for Biblical Unity, and it's called Family in the Church. This should be a good one. This isn't that long either. Saying brings it to life. I try. I just be reading. Look at this right here. Look at this right here. Now, look what Jasmine said at the end. I used to be such a worrier. We all did at some point. And for what? For what? Everything cool now. Everything all right. We all making it. We all have some sort of shelter. We all have some sort of food. We good. We all good. That's all that matters. Even if we were to be out on the streets, right? God'll make a way. All right. I'm telling y'all, that one point in my life where I told y'all I studied how to be a functioning homeless person, I already know I'll be good if that ever happens. Because God randomly gave me the knowledge. We be straight. He do things for a reason. You be alright. You be straight.
Structure of churches is such that you arrive at church, and what we do is we break up your family. And so the adults go to big church, the youth go to youth group, the children's go to children's ministry. You're separated for the entire time. And then when it's all over, then you gather back together on your way out to the car. And there are huge liabilities in that. One of the books that Walt Russell had me read was a book called The Ancient Church as Family by Joe Hellerman.
There we go.
And, you know, it really, it's a really good book because it helps you to see really the messianic community, right? The church as this surrogate kinship group. That it's family. I mean, that's one of the primary analogies that the New Testament uses. It's family.
Facts.
Church is family.
Facts.
And in fact, for some people, right, we all know there's a lot of brokenness.
This has nothing to do with the video, but I'm just putting it there. So if y'all want to go pull that up.
In biological families or step families or whatever, in American families in general. And some of us maybe experience a lot of rejection from our families, and the body of Christ becomes a surrogate family for us in a very real sense. And that's what we want to develop. And I think that's what you see throughout the New Testament. You see Jesus emphasizing this in his response to the disciples in Matthew chapter 12. You know, I mean, his family is trying to, they're attempting to remove him from the public eye. They want to kind of avoid, you know, humiliation and shame for some of Jesus's actions. And his response is pretty radical. He distances himself from the blood kinship, right? And the blood relationship to his family, and professes allegiance to this surrogate kinship group, you know, the messianic community, the church, the body of Christ. And so so that book was influential, and that's what we want our church to be. We do want to see one another as brothers and sisters in Christ. We want to see the older men as fathers and the older women as mothers, or aunties and uncles, as some of us, you know, we use that language in our church. But we want the children to be seen as a vital part of the body as well. So I've done, you know, local church ministry for a number of years, and we've been involved for all of our lives as believers. And we have a very high view of the church. The church is God's plan A, right? In fact, for my friends out there who are speakers and apologists and, you know, worldview teachers and all of that, for those who are not involved in the local church, I think you're making a huge mistake. I think that's wrong, actually. For us to get up and you know, go and speak at churches and to equip believers, and for ourselves not to be involved in God's plan A, it's just not optional. And so I've always had a very high view of the church. In fact, I think it was a huge benefit that I started in the local church, in doing local church ministry first as a student pastor, before I ever got into nonprofit or parachurch ministry, because it helped ground me in the fact that the local church is God's plan A. And so in that, so I've been involved with a lot of churches, and often the structure of churches is such that you arrive at church, and what we do is we break up your family. And so the adults go to big church, the youth go to youth group, the children's go to children's ministry. You're separated for the entire time. And then when it's all over, then you gather back together on your way out to the car. And there are huge liabilities in that. I see it with our youth, from youth who are disconnected from the larger body, to young people who end up getting raised on more of an entertainment model of church in their youth groups, right? And I get it, for youth pastors, there's always a lot of pressure that success equals numbers. And so, they're very attractional in what they do, oftentimes. And then you have the separation of generations. So then young people, they can grow up in a church and have almost no significant interaction with older generations. And, we just silo them off. And so then when they graduate from high school, they've got no connection to those old people in the big church, right? And they have no significant relationships. There's no other additional mentoring. And we put such a heavy burden on mom and dad because we silo the kids off. So then they don't have these other significant adult people, these significant adult Christians who are helping in that discipleship of them. And so so there's a ton of liabilities. We wanted to start off with a view that said, hey, we want our kids in with us as much as possible for a number of reasons. But what we do is we know there's going to be a trade-off, and we talk about it all the time in our church, is that there's going to be some controlled chaos because we're going to keep the kids with us as much as possible. And that means even some of the babies and the little toddlers. And sometimes, at house church, we pretty much have an enclosed backyard so they can't escape out into the street, but they can roam around the yard. And, you guys see like little Noah, who's I think 2 years old now.
So what he's describing right now, that sounds like, not this past Sunday, but the Sunday before, my church did like an outdoor service. So instead of having I think they do like 3 services a day on Sunday, everybody came to the main church because they have 2 churches. Everybody just came to the main church, and we were on like this big lawn together as like a big church community at one time. And it was just one big service. So you had all the kids out there, plus all the adults. You had the pastor up there preaching. And then they were cooking food in the background. It was like a big cookout type thing. But this kind of sounds like how his church is all the time. So instead of splitting everybody up, because there's going to be issues with that, he's like, we all just going to be outside together. I mean, it's not a bad idea, because seeing it play out at my church, it was actually really cool. It was super awesome. Said cookout sermon, sign me up. Yeah, it was pretty cool. They had burgers and hot dogs because, families and stuff. But since we don't have kids, we kind of left as soon as it was over. But it was really cool because so we were right in the front, just because you're out on a lawn. So we had our blanket and we were stretched out watching the service. And I think one of the pastors up there, every week I get emotional at church. I don't know why. I know why, but it just happens every week. And I don't know what it was with that last song, but I broke down sobbing like a baby. And one of the pastors came up when it was all over, since I was in the very front, and he prayed with me and my husband, and then he prayed over our marriage. And then we turn around and some other guy, turns out he's the elder of the church, so which I didn't know. Then he introduced himself, and then he prayed with us as well. And I'm just I know this is happening because I just had my little emotional breakdown. I know that's why this is happening. You said grace has that effect. Yeah, it does. Every week, like clockwork, every single week. Mary Shelley says, dang, that just made me think, imagine a world where the majority don't go to church. I mean, that kind of is the world. That really leaves a door open for an abuser to go in there and gain some power by the church, since no one's watching. Hold on. That really leaves a door open for an abuser to go in there and gain some power. I think you're talking about, but that's how we get wolves in sheep's clothing. That's how we get the false prophets. I think that's what you're alluding to with what you're saying. I think that's what you're alluding to. It's disappointing how there can be an unspoken reality that kids and babies are distractions in the main sanctuary. I wish that wasn't a thing. Facts. My church, so they do have a little Sunday school area, but you don't have to take your kids in there if you don't want to. Because there is a lot of families where their kids are with them in the main room with us, and they don't have an issue with that either. I guess it just depends what the parents want to do at that point. So they give them like both options. Oh, that is what you're alluding to. Okay, I got you, Mary. I got you. Godless is a miserable place. Yes, it is. It's horrible. I never want to go back to that position.
He'll wander right up in the middle of teaching. I'll be teaching and he'll just wander right up to me and just, stare at me. And, and we have a good laugh on that, but we see such value in him growing up in that context because we want him to be worshiping with the other adults. We want him to experience worship through song and music. We want him to see us teaching and engaging God's word. We want him to be, at this point of his life, a participant by watching like communion and that we do communion every week.
Yeah, we did communion that week too.
We close with the doxology. And
so basically what he's saying, and I witnessed this play out when we had the church lawn service, a bunch of kids, so because they're so little, they were like running around and playing because we're outside on grass, right? They're little kids. They don't know what's happening. A few of them, though, at certain points would just like stop while the preacher was preaching because they were doing it right in front of the stage. And they're just like looking at him while he's like giving the word. And a lot of them, they'll see one stop and then they'll look up too. And then they all just like sat down and just started watching the preacher. It was so cute. It was like the cutest little thing ever. And then there was during the worship songs, a lot of the kids were just paying attention. And there was one little girl near us with her family, like she was just dancing. Like every time they would start singing, and she'd be like, "Yeah," she'd be like super into it. So I get what he's saying. This is very important for like kids to be part of. You said there's an adage about kids and animals can sniff out psychopaths. I believe that. I wholeheartedly believe that because here's the thing. My whole life, and everybody says like they said I always had a good spirit or something. But every time we would be around kids, whether at the park or some like family event or whatever, I would go with like my brother and his, cause he has a son. He has 2 kids now, but at the time he just had his son. And like we would go to these events. Next thing I know, all the kids are around me and they're trying to play with me. And I'm just like, I understand as an adult. I don't want the other adults to be like, why is my kid around this grown adult with this other kid? You know what I'm saying? But to give an example, there's this thing that was going around the U.S. It was called the world's largest bouncy house, or it's called something like that, where they had all these little ball pits and jump around thingies. I don't know what they called, but they had a bunch of those, right? So we took my nephew, and I basically played with my nephew most of the time. So while I'm chasing him around, next thing I know, all these kids in this area just like started playing with us, and they were like, "She's the monster, run away!" Ah! And next thing you know, like I'm the zombie monster thing, whatever they had made up I was. I'm throwing the little bouncy balls at them, and they're like throwing the stuff back at me. And you know how you gotta play with kids because you're like, "Oh no, you got me!" You just lay out, and then you get back up, you're like, "Psych!" And that's what it ended up being. And I saw one of my coworkers there, and they was like, "Michelle." They was like, "I'm wondering why all these kids was around. It's you." They was like, "You just a big kid at heart." And I was like, "Nah, they started playing with me. I was just playing with my nephew." That's literally what happened. Cause Sang never grew up kid at heart. A bouncy house? Hold on. I know I got pictures. I could definitely show y'all. Cause I don't know, a bouncy house. That's what I call it. I don't know. Cause we took him one summer. It was the funnest thing. It was super hot outside though. It was extremely hot. And we went like midday too. That was probably like the worst time to go to something like that. But yeah, it was a bouncy house. Where are we at on the timeline so far? Okay, here we go. I was like, I don't want to lose my spot. Because if I lose my spot, I'm about to really get discombobulated in these photos. Here it is. Here it is. We're the one with the bubbles. Because it was a big bounce house. And they had a DJ with bubbles and stuff.
We're going to start in...
Yeah, here it is. This was awesome. I gotta show this. This was awesome. The quality better get better too, because this quality's kind of trash.
4, 3. We're gonna start.
Here we go.
5.
It was something like this.
4.
You see all this bouncing around? This will end up being a big dodgeball fight.
1, go! Let's go, dodgeball!
I'm a beast when you come. Came to the future, Cybertron. Uh-oh, my man right there, you're out.
So we went to something like this. And it was a bunch of these. They had a bunch of these little bounce houses.
Hey, play fair. If you're out, you're out. Hey, in the tank top, she got you. You're out. Head against to the back wall when you're out. Keep it going. Everyone thinks we did here. Really quick, how do you think the boys did, everyone?
Yeah, when did they shoot the bubbles out? That's what I'm trying to see. Here we go. Ah, nah, where the bubbles at? That's what I want to see. There was like a part where all the bubbles and confetti and stuff shot out.
Boy, you wearing shorts.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So many good dances.
All right, y'all get the idea. Y'all get the idea. Hold on, here we go. This little thing right here, there's like a bunch of these little ball pits on top of that. Or something like that. A bunch of little kids, when we was in all these things, kept like coming near us and like playing, specifically playing with me and my nephew. So that's what ended up happening. You said discombobulation. Looked hot out there. It was extremely hot. And then with all the jumping around, I was dead. I wanted nothing more than water, and it just wasn't enough. If somebody could have just drowned me in water that day, that would have been the best feeling, like some ice cold water. Kids know, kids do know. I also had a cat at one point. He could not stand one of my aunts. Like, he refused to go near her, and it was crazy too. Every time she came over, he'd walk in the room, see her, and he'd hiss. You know how cats do, that little scaredy cat, they like body raise up? His whole body would raise up, he'd hiss at her and run. Would not do that to any other family member. And I'm like, you evil, bro. I was like, my cat knows. You're evil.
And all of that, we want the kids to feel like they are just as much a part of that, and that they are an important part. They're not the church of tomorrow, but they are an important part of the church today. And then, and so we've just seen, it's been so great because it doesn't just benefit the kids, it benefits the adults. It's been so fun to watch adults develop relationships with the children, you know, and we want those adults to have significant impact on those children as they grow up, as they become youth, and they need additional mentors and additional voices in their lives. And so,
hold on, I missed a comment. Hold on. It says kids church / babysitting during service is nice, but all these years they might develop a disconnect with church and worship and the rest of the church. So when they hit 18, they aren't connected. That's a good point, and that's what this guy's talking about.
So we're okay with some of that controlled chaos.
What's wrong with children's church? Tech Boy, were you here the whole time, or did you like come back at some point? So basically what he's saying is when you separate the kids and the adults and you put them in 2 different separate rooms for church, the kids are having that disconnect. That's all it is. They're not truly getting the word like the adults are. So then when they're old enough to go into that room, it's just kind of like, ugh, this isn't how like they preach it in the kids' room. Who are all these old people? That's what it's going to be. Yeah, this is why church has to start at home. The downside to that, as we've saw in a lot of these videos with different people, a lot of people aren't getting that at home, which turns into, what do you guys call it? You guys call it, they weren't getting proper catechism. He goes on to say that children's churches usually get high energy and light on message. I believe it, because I remember, the only thing I remember from Sunday school when I was a kid is that it was just daycare. I don't ever remember learning anything about the Bible. We may have did like the Noah's Ark song or something, or around Christmas, you know, Jesus being born in the manger, but that was kind of it. Like, it was playtime while the adults were in church. That's all that was.
And you know, now what we've also seen though is as we raise the bar for our kids, they step up. So at first they were a little more unruly, but as they've learned, as they've been in this culture where adults are raising the bar of expectations for them, I've noticed they sit and listen more intently. They're not as unruly. In fact, we are very purposeful in engaging them during the teaching time. So almost every Sunday morning, you know, Jason and I, when we prepare to preach, we are thinking of different questions for the kids that are just going to be for the kids. And we'll often say, okay, for the 12 and unders, this question's for you. We don't want the adults talking, and the kids will engage. And the kids, I mean, it's amazing some of the insight that comes out of the kids as they are chewing on the word with us. And they ask some of the best questions.
Yeah. This right here. Now, obviously this is the Catholic version. I'm only saying Catholic because you have rosary in here in Mass. So to tweak it for the Protestant version, instead of praying the rosary with your kids, if you're not Catholic, just pray with your children, right? Read the Bible with your kids. Nothing wrong with that. And then going to Mass would just be like for us going to church. It's the same things. It's the same things right here.
I want to just make a few things even more explicit there. So like our first kind of 50 minutes or so is brunch. Then we have about a 10-minute transition where we're folding up the tables, moving the chairs around. And this is on average about 40 people a week. It can fluctuate a little bit up and a little bit.
Oh, she said they start with brunch. Now, I'm not gonna lie, food hitting, I might be in a food coma after that, so I don't even know if I'm paying attention, but like, that's not a bad way to start. Now, think about it, she reversed that. You do service and then have brunch after the fact. Yo, that would be a great service to go to. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Bit down, but I think on average it's about roughly around 40 people a week. And then we get into it, and you know, we have kind of a little opening scripture or call to work.
Catechism.
And then we get into the catechism.
That's the part.
Hey, that's what we just said.
Where we all the adults just be shamed by the kids.
And so the kids are working on memorizing their catechism questions, but we have a discussion about the catechism question every week. And we use the New City Catechism. It's a free app on the phone. And we put it up on the screen, but we're all in it. It's not like, well, only kids are learning the catechism. It's everybody. And we have an opportunity for the kids to recite their catechism answers.
The opportunity is for the kids and the adults to recite the catechism question and answer.
Jorge said, go to Mass and go to Cookout. I love that. Hey, I'm telling you, it was awesome. When they did it at my church, it was actually kind of fire. Tech Boy says, I still think having a youth group is important to connect with other peers. There's nothing wrong with the youth group, but so we saw another video from them before that Tyree shared with us, where an issue with, once again, kids' church, and they were specifically talking about kids, but this is an adult issue as well, but we're going to focus on the kids right now. Parents expect their kids to do Sunday school if they're not with them, right, in the actual church, once a week. And then the rest of the week, it's nothing. Like, the parents don't go over anything at home. There is no youth group that the kids are going to, right? It's just that one day. And then then when the kid goes away from church or whatever, then the parents are left confused because they're just like, hey, what were you teaching my kid? My kid's not doing blah, 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 blah. And it's like, Well, as a parent, that's also your job to kind of fix this. So I think the best way would be like Sunday, yeah, you go to church, but you also need to be doing things with them at home. And maybe once or twice during the week outside of that Sunday, if there's a youth group going on at the church where they can make those connections with other kids their ages, send them to that as well. I don't see anything wrong with that. There's another channel I follow. His name's Anton Daniels. And he always talks about when he grew up, because he grew up in the hood in Detroit. And he said one of the things that the adults in the neighborhood did to keep the kids out of trouble and not running in the streets is that they had them in church. So after school, you know, you do your homework or whatever, and then you'd be in church and you'd be in part of some sort of group or Bible study, right? They would rather have you there than you running the streets doing things you're not supposed to be doing. But how many people do that with their kids nowadays, right? People are becoming less religious during this time frame. So, and then the ones that claim they are religious, all of them don't actually practice that title. You know what I'm saying? A good example of that I've been witnessing on Twitter for like the past 2 or 3 weeks straight is Pearly Things. She'll say a lot of crazy stuff about Christianity. She'll say a lot of nonsense, right? So the things that she was saying, a lot of people was like, I guess you wouldn't understand as an atheist, right? A lot of religious people were calling her out on that. And she'd be like, stop calling me atheist. I'm a Catholic. It's like, yeah, based on a lot of stuff you're saying, you don't come off as Catholic. Your family may call themselves that. Maybe they dragged you to church every Sunday as a child, but you are definitely not Catholic. You have no idea how your own religion works. Same thing as what I said earlier about Gideon when we were watching the George Janko clip. He's the same way. There is a lot he doesn't understand. It's like, maybe at one point you were there, my guy, but you're not there now. I would never believe you were a Christian. Like, it just doesn't make sense. Yeah, this right here. Christian in name only. That is exactly how they act. And they aren't the only ones. There's a lot of people in the world that act just like this. Yeah, well, I guess Pearl would be a cradle Catholic, but yeah, that's all it is. And it's very weird, to be honest with you. It's like, you can't keep speaking on things and then get mad when people call you out on it. And then now you're just like, stop calling me that. I'm actually XYZ. It just doesn't seem like it. Like, maybe stop. It does not seem like it. She took off by grifting and she cannot keep up with her own preachings. I don't think she took off by grifting. I think she's leaning more into a lot of stuff that she has no idea about now. But I don't believe she started off that way. Have y'all seen her house? Yeah, that's mom and dad's house. That's not, if you look at where she lives in London, her London house doesn't look like that. She lives in like an apartment. So her parents, her dad, like whatever business he runs or owns or whatever, he's very successful. Cause like, yeah, right here, she comes from money. Yeah, he has big bank. So I know she showed it off recently, the big shed in like her parents' backyard that she's turning into the studio or whatever. And there's like another office that her dad was just like, yeah, we're not using it. So you can have this big office building we're not using anymore. I mean, yeah, I'm not going to lie to you. If my parents had that and they gave it to me, you best believe that's how my operation would be running. It'd be running out all that free stuff, especially if I have siblings, because she comes from a huge family. If my siblings aren't taking advantage of anything mom and dad has that they're not using, and mom and dad's looking at me and I'm like, well, I have this YouTube thing. Can I use this for stuff? Yeah, baby, use it for whatever you want. Cool. I'll do it. Because that first year she blew up was during COVID, and she was living at her parents' house. And she literally told them, she was like, I want to try to be big on YouTube. And they were like, all right. I mean, you can stay here and see if it works out. She got lucky that it worked, honestly. But I'm not gonna lie to you. If my parents had the ends, I wouldn't be in this house. I'd be in my parents' house. Yeah, her parents, I think I read that her dad built some computer tech stuff and then sold it and made a good chunk. Good work and mad respect, to be honest. Yeah. Like, her dad is loaded. You see, she said in a recent video where she said every state that her parents have a house in, she's gonna build a headquarters there. Because she was like, why not? I could stay at their house for free. That's smart. I can't even knock her for it. That's a smart way to think. Free room and board, free food, and they're giving me like their business stuff as like so like free rent now too for my business. I don't have to pay rent or anything. That's super smart, like on a business tip. I can't get mad at her about that. Now, taking all that away, a lot of the stuff she's talking about where she's like, Islam is based, and then somebody gave her facts about Muhammad, and she's just like, what? Is that what really happened with him and Aisha or Aliyah or whatever? Yeah, that's what really happened, and you would know that if you studied instead of just talking out of your butt. Like, then she'll say some goofy stuff about Christianity and you get corrected. What? You guys are just mad because I'm speaking in generalities, but like, that's not what I mean about the Christian church, though. Stop calling me an atheist. I'm Catholic. Then she'll just say other random red pill talking points at this point, and it's like, you didn't start out this way. You got mad because like they wanted to cancel you because of Nick Fuentes, and now you're pulling a full-on Sneeko, because that's really what's happening. And it's like you're just full-on leaning into nonsense right now. It's like, I get it, you're mad, but this isn't the way to like go about that. It's crazy. It's like super crazy.
But only the kids are really like just I don't know. We are challenged as adults. We gonna have to. We need to step up our game.
And then we
have that's one of those aspects where the young people, they challenge us as well. And
hold on, you said look up King of Nothing, Just Pearly Things. Is that the title of her video, or are you like making a joke right now? Parents setting up their kids for success is a big win, man. My mom has 3 baby daddies, all convicts, still love. Ooh, yikes. Yo. I mean, yeah, I'd still love the fam too, but like, yikes. Mary was like, I'm about to let you know what it is right now. And all I can say is, I hope your mom's making better decisions with the guys now. That's all I could hope. That's all I could hope for. That's crazy. This battle, you said, I just want to see if this was the actual name of the video. King of Nothing, and then you said Just Pearly Things. Oh, this is some other person talking about her. Bro, this is like a 44-minute hit piece. Yikes. First off, who is King of Nothing? We're gonna open this. Who are you doing this super long hit piece?
Years on.
I make subpar commentary videos. Well, that's it. That's all he says. All right. You guys aren't gonna stop me. Just grifting things. Red pill robot. 2 sides of the same coin. Everything that she preaches against. I keep cutting the bone? Huh? Pearl's fans. Pearl's delusion. Don't even have a cookbook. Weaselly little liar. How many bodies does Pearl have? Pearl doesn't give advice. Pearl's love-hate relationship with whales. Pearl's... Yikes. This is literally a 44-minute hit piece. Nah, she doing some shade right now. Tragic. That's why I bought the dang Bible. How old is Pearl now? Like 20 or so? She's in her mid-20s, I believe. Oh, Tech Boy answered already. Yeah, okay. 26. Let's watch a piece of this because, like, yikes. This is kind of long.
23 years on this planet, I have never lost as many brain cells as I have.
So a 23-year-old's doing a hit piece on a 26-year-old. You gotta love YouTube. Gotta love it.
In the 2 weeks that it took me to make this video.
If my son came home from school one day and said to me, "Look, Mum, I'll be honest with you, I think I'm gay," I would take it on and I'd be open.
What if your son came home and said, "I think I'm black"?
Well, I'm
That's not the same thing. This right here, this is a little too much. I would not care this much to go this long. That's kind of crazy. But this...
obviously, I would...
Yo, they had to
In case
laugh
you don't know,
too.
Pearl, consider yourself lucky, because this woman has the IQ of a jar of mayonnaise.
Israel versus Palestine. You're saying that there's like a war there going on.
I think that's from the Nick Fuentes interview. She even stated she has no clue about a lot of that stuff. That's why she was like, I didn't mind having him on to talk about it, because she didn't really know who Nick Fuentes was either. And I'm not gonna lie to you, a lot of the videos I did last year where people kept mentioning Nick Fuentes, I'm like, who's that? And why do y'all not like him? Because I didn't know who he was either. And they're just like, what? You have to look into him and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I guess. And it's like, he says some things that make sense. He says a bunch of things that don't. And the man said all kids worshipped Hitler when he was little. And I'm like, maybe just you, my guy, because that wasn't a thing when I was a kid. Like, that's a crazy statement to make. Oh, man. All right, but what would you do, though? Oh, okay, we were laughing, but the question was, okay, so that chick was sitting there, and she said, if my child came home and said he was gay, I'd be okay with it. That's what that woman said. But what would you do, though, chat, if your kid came home and was like, hey, yo, I'm gay? Now, I'm gonna be real with you. My kid's not gonna say that. My kid's not gonna say that, because they're not going to public school. And we're also gonna be monitoring, like, screen time and all that. So, I don't know. That would be a weird thing. The only way I can envision that, they would have to go out on their own into the world and not take any of the Bible teachings or anything with them and just become lost. And honestly, I would be like, you're not gay, you're confused, and I'm gonna pray for you. And they not gonna like it. They're gonna be like, oh, you're a bigot, Mom, how dare you say that? You're supposed to love me, blah, blah, blah. And I'll be like, I do love you, and I love you enough to tell you what it is, but you just... saying it's gonna go full CCP on her child. No, sir, that's not happening.
Has conversations about dating more than almost any human on this planet.
You met me and I'm just a dude in the bar. How are you explaining yourself?
I would say I do a live show 4 times a week on relationships.
Yeah, truth is hard sometimes, but you have to tell it. Like, you can't sugarcoat past that. Whether they accept that or not is on them. That's really what it's gonna boil down to.
When she gets hit on in the street, she freezes up like Frosty the Snowman on a cold winter night in the North Pole.
Oh, my number. What? Wait, what? You want to be interviewed? No. I'm okay, thank you. He was actually cute. I just got embarrassed.
And if that wasn't bad enough, she's by far.
Here, this is what Jasmine would do. Jasmine says, I would bring out the Bible and start asking Jesus for some serious guidance. That's not a bad way to handle it either. Because you still would have to tell them the truth at some point. It's just, I guess the guidance would be to how to handle all of that. Because if you're too rough, the kid's out the door. But with that being said, you can also gently say something and the person can still blow a casket. Because I've dealt with that before. And it's like, yo, how gentler could one be?
Are the biggest grifter on this entire platform.
I recently decided that women shouldn't vote.
And she's actually such a grifter that after being called a grifter more than 1,000 times, her first public response to this was to pretend that she didn't know what a grifter was.
People constantly call me a grifter. And I was really confused when I first got in the space. I was like,
What the hell is a grifter?
Luckily for you, I have the knowledge.
I'm gonna be honest with you on when they be like, she acts like she doesn't understand things, she acts like she's stupid. I really think she's just that stupid. Cause she's even said it before. She's like, people think I'm blah blah blah. I'm really just don't know a lot. I'm really that dumb. I believe her. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I do believe she's that dumb. Cause she says a lot of dumb things. There's no way. I know what grifting is. You're not gonna add being an idiot to that list. I promise you. It's not gonna get you anywhere. I believe she's dumb about a lot of things. I totally believe it.
To teach you exactly what a grifter is.
Should we all learn how to be grifters together?
She looked rough there. That's from something, she does a segment called like morning coffee talks. It's something like that, where it's just like her getting ready in the morning while talking. He said, if I had a child come tell me they think they're alphabetically challenged. Yo, that's funny. I'm gonna start using that. I'd be distraught because that means I failed as a father. Yeah, I believe it. I'd feel the same way. Paris Hilton, Simple Life MTV. Now, somebody said that was an act. Somebody said her acting that ditzy. They said she don't really be acting like that. That was just for the cameras. That's true, but this hit piece is garbage. We haven't even got that far into it yet. We're like not even 2 minutes. I agree it's probably garbage, but like we got to give it some life for a second. Oh, I got you. That's still a funny way of saying this. Guidance on how to articulate the truth without making him feel like I don't understand or love him, or he can't come to me with serious talks. How to help him see that the world is lying to him. This is how I know you a mom, because you just like put that out there very beautifully. Because only a mom would know how to articulate it like that. That's how I know you a mom. I mean, I knew that beforehand, but you get what I'm saying. You get what I'm saying? Did we finish? Yeah, it was like 30 seconds or something left. So we basically finished that video.
Deep dive into Pearl and her red pill grift, her hypocrisy and lies, and overall asinine behavior. So strap in, because I'm going to be taking a swing at just Pearly things today, and I'm not missing.
You guys aren't going to stop me. You're not really going to bring me down.
What we do here is go.
I mean, to be fair, nobody's ending her channel. She's not getting canceled. It's over for she won. It's over. So people could be mad, but most people that are mad don't watch her anyways. Kind of like how Abba and Preach for like the past 2 years thought they were ending Fresh and Fit, and Fresh and Fit still thrived and went on to keep making money. It's like, you're not ending these people because your audience wasn't watching them anyways. And that's really just like the reality of that situation.
Back.
Bring back bullying. Hey, let's bring it back. Let's bring back bullying. Like the video if you would buy a Bring Back Bullying merch, because we could sell those.
Just so we're all on the same page about exactly what a grifter is, let's have Pearl read to us the definition of a grifter.
A person who engages in petty or small-scale swindling. A fraud.
Pearl is not a scammer in the traditional sense. She doesn't sell some $5,000 fake guru course, but as YouTubers, we do sell ourselves and our content to the general public to try and make more money. And that's totally fine, but the issue comes in when almost every conversation you're having is nothing but red pill NPC talking points that's been copied off of other people in an attempt to pander to a predetermined audience for your own monetary gain.
I'm doing this for money. It's all about money to me.
Got him!
What's the full context of that
primary
clip?
issue I have with Pearl is that she makes long-form content but doesn't actually speak what she thinks. She thinks what her audience wants to hear and repeats that like a sneako.
These people are just genuine bots.
For example, on almost every podcast she goes on, she proudly parades around this opinion that she thinks women shouldn't vote.
I don't think women should vote.
Huh?
I don't think women.
I mean, to be fair, she's not the first person that came out of their mouth. So, in the grand scheme of things, of like women getting to this point, I get why a lot of people are like, that's crazy for her to say that. But in a political sense, if you look at where we are right now in the Democratic side of things, statistically speaking, most women that vote blue are single women. So, and that's like a very large portion of them, because as women, we already outpopulate men, right? So there's already more of us than there is of men. So when you look at the Republican side of things, when it comes down to women that votes red, a lot of women usually vote whatever their husband votes. So if their husband's conservative, they're voting conservative. You know what I'm saying? If they're married, they're voting red. If they're single, more than likely they're voting blue. And we all see the narrative where with feminism, they're trying to make women okay with this idea of being single, independent. You don't need no man for nothing. It's just how it is. So you're going to keep getting those large quantities of women of all races, right, voting blue if they're single. And that's not what you want, because the moment you fix that and correct it, Republicans are winning like every time. That's just from a statistical standpoint. So she's probably repeating it because she doesn't understand it. But then when you have other women online that are conservative and biblical, and they say the same thing, they understand why they're saying it, because they understand the statistical numbers of it. She might just be repeating it as a parent because it is a red pill talking point. That's all. So what I'm hearing is single women shouldn't vote. I mean, statistically speaking, yes, because they usually vote just for the most selfish of reasons. That's why.
Lord Jesus. And this isn't some one-off thing. Pearl cannot stop herself from saying women shouldn't vote whenever someone puts a microphone in her face.
You shouldn't vote.
What? No, I shouldn't. No, seriously. Like, I could say that like me voting benefits me, but do I think as a society women should vote? No. I think women shouldn't vote. For example,
It is,
I don't think women
unfortunately, and it's sad.
Like, the more I do the show, the more I think women shouldn't vote.
So to be fair, she's single, so yeah, she shouldn't vote. So she's spot on with her own assessment.
It was taken out of context.
I'm not saying women shouldn't vote.
And why
Yes,
does
you are.
Pearl think women shouldn't vote? Well, it's even worse than the actual take itself.
You guys get drafted. We don't. Women decide elections. We're 55% of the population. I think if we want to vote, equally draft us. Y'all want equality. And personally, I don't want to get drafted, so I'll be in the kitchen.
And if that wasn't bad enough, right before she said she thinks women shouldn't vote, she announced to the world that she wants to run for office one day.
I'd like to run for an office someday. I don't think women should vote. Huh? I don't think women should vote. Because I feel like in order the laws to change for men, women have to do it.
Yo, is this person fucking retarded? I'm not sure.
Yes, she's retarded. Is that the answer you were looking for?
Okay, maybe I wouldn't take it that
It's
far.
never
but
happening,
something's just
John.
not
It's
adding
never
up here.
happening.
Women shouldn't be able to vote because they can't get drafted, even though there hasn't been a draft in 50 years. But they should be able to run for office with the sole purpose of changing laws in favor of the men.
Well, I'm convinced, folks. That's pretty much the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, that is pretty stupid. You can't be on the side of women can't vote, but you also can't say women should run for office. Like, if they can't vote, they also shouldn't run for office. You gotta stay consistent if you're gonna say these things. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be consistent with it. You can't play both sides of the fence.
You watch one podcast from Pearl, you already know what she's going to
Look at
say
KO.
about any subject before she even opens her mouth. Literally,
That's
all
funny.
she does is unconditionally defend all men while simultaneously bashing all women.
Like, men, when they make a bad decision, they always have a consequence. Women don't. And that's why women are worse, because one
That's dumb. Men always have a consequence and women don't. Women definitely have consequences for their actions. Whew. All right. So her argument is that equal rights should mean equal responsibilities. So you mean in terms of when she meant the whole drafting situation. Here's the thing. I don't think women should get drafted because I think women in military roles, like in terms of like combat and stuff, men are just better equipped for that. I'm gonna be real with you. The few people I know that went military that are women have stated if they can go back in time, they would have never went. And they were like, and they also said they don't believe that women should also be in the military. So, just is what it is. Femme Sapien over Pearl. I love Allie's content. Allie is way better than Pearl. And she had her baby recently. Did you see that? She had her baby recently. I'm so happy for her. It's like she just watched 3 Kevin Samuels videos and thought she knew it all or something. She was actually on his show when he was alive. Back before, like, so she was liberal at one point. She went on one of his shows, but she was actually one of the women that was open to listening. So she took in everything he had to say, and then her viewpoints in life started changing from there. Now, all of this like the super aggressive version we get today, a lot of that comes from like when they tried to cancel her over the Nick Fuentes thing. Because yeah, she had certain views up until that point, but she went full Sneeko like right after that. When she apologized, she should have never apologized, first off. But when she apologized and then realized that that apology meant nothing, which all of you will learn at some point in life. Maybe you've already learned it, because I know a lot of you are like my age or older than me. But the younger ones, that's around like Tech Boy's age, you'll realize at some point in life where if you apologize just to kind of appease the person, to calm them down or shut them up, and they're on the left, it does not matter. None of it matters. You're better off not apologizing in the slightest. In the slightest. She's not wrong, though. Who gets custody on a dispute? Women benefit more from divorce. She's not wrong on that topic, but on every topic, though, she does say goofy stuff. Like on this, yes, when it comes to court matters with kids and parents, the court will usually favor the mom like 99% of the time. Pearl is just weird red pill. No red pill would date her, but the audience she wants to appeal to find red pill degenerate. She could find a red pill guy. Maybe not the one she wants, but like she could find the average one if that's what she wants. I don't even know what she wants in a guy. She's claimed what she's wanted in podcasts, but it's like, are you just saying that as an answer? Is that really like what you want? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, this right here, apologizing to a mob is like blood in the water to a shark. Facts. This right here. I was a soldier, and I think that women can be in the military in support roles. Medical, intelligence, admin, and so much more. Any combat roles, absolutely no way. Facts. And that's basically, so when I said the women I know that went, that's why I meant combat. Yeah, every woman I know says like women shouldn't be going, especially for combat. But the support roles, there's nothing wrong with the support side of thing. Kevin Samuels, where you been? That man's been gone. They had like his 1-year anniversary like stream not too long ago. Haley. Shout out to Kidology. She's got good videos and perspectives. I'm gonna put that on here so everybody can see it. Pro celibacy at this point, no worries. She might be, unless she's racking up bodies behind the scenes. We don't know.
Gender has consequences. One doesn't. And to say it's like equal, I just think isn't like fair, because like men, when they make a bad decision, they have the consequence immediately, where women don't. We're bailed out of everything.
Pearl makes these generalizations about men and women all the time on her show, and it leads to terrible takes like this, where she claims that because she's personally lived a life where she doesn't have to face any consequences for her.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie, this is a firehouse though. I do not care. Like, if my parents had this type of dough and raised us, look. She kept it real in an interview one day too. She was like, just because my dad had money, she was like, there's a lot of times he made us like coupon and penny pinch though. Like if they wanted things, he didn't just give it to them when they were kids. But like outside of that, yeah, they had the house, like the whatever else they had behind the house, the shed, the little pool, whatever the dad built for the whole family to enjoy. But like if they wanted certain things, she said her dad was like, no, you're not getting that. What you talking about? Oh, you want what type of clothes? You're not getting that. He made them get like the most basic stuff. And I don't blame him. Just because you got this money, you think you can just blow it on dumb stuff? Because I'm rich. You poor. that's how you got to talk to the kid. You'd be like, no, it's my money. Like, you have no money. You're the child. Go get your own. Yeah, she got like a bazillion siblings. It's wild. In the military, for every combat role, there are 2 supporting non-combat roles. Oh, I got you. What I would have told Pearl to say is to specifically mention areas in society where women get treated better than men due to their gender after saying that. That's his PR. Oh, I got you. Oh, you trying to be the PR person. It sucks when they villainize people purely based on money. Of course, many people with money suck, but that's true across the money spectrum. Facts. Also, welcome to the stream. And, Anna, welcome. I haven't seen you in here in a minute.
Actions that this applies to all modern women. That's stupid because there's about 3 billion men and women out there, and aside from the programmed bots like Pearl, we're all quite different and deserve to be judged as individuals. But Pearl's entire
You said, how many men do you know who have spoken about being abused? Meanwhile, a woman does, and Me Too all over that. Yeah, I know. But Jorge, she just makes general statements though. We already know, think about this. When men come out and say they're abused, what happens? They get laughed at and nobody believes them, which sucks. That's like the general viewpoint on that, right? Whereas a woman could say anything. She could be lying about it. And yeah, the Me Too just like pops up out of nowhere. The guy is like automatically guilty. You said you've been doing lots of traveling? Ooh. Sounds fire. I hope you had a lot of fun. I've been out for a long time now, but women couldn't be in combat back then. I was a medic and we weren't allowed on the front line, but I think they can now, which is horrible and dangerous. Yeah, I think they can now too. Which ain't, I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want it. There are poor people who suck too. They are just less visible. Facts. There's tons of them. There's tons of crappy people in the world.
The channel has been curated in a way which paints all modern women out to be these delusional and horrible people.
That's why, like, honestly, modern women are leftover women. Modern women are side chicks. A lot of modern women are selfish. I think most modern women are very narcissistic. They're usually obsessed with themselves. They think that they're tense. They think that they're special.
And men out to be these flawless creatures who have it so hard and can do no wrong.
I would say most men are good men.
And because she does this on almost every episode of her podcast, these types of generalizations have become completely normalized, and it often results in cancerous discourse like this blanket statement
as most
made
hit pieces
about how
are,
she
to be
thinks
honest.
becoming a single mother means you're automatically a bad decision maker.
And it says something about your decision making if you become a single mother.
Are you alright? Do you know what? Do you know why I became
That,
a single mother?
all of that.
That's uncalled for. You don't know what I experienced. You don't know what I experienced as a married woman.
You don't know what I experienced as a married woman.
It's either you don't,
You don't know what I experienced.
pick the right
I don't know how to
guys.
do the accent.
It's something about your decision making. Maybe you don't pick the right guys.
So abusive women that choose lovely, amazing men.
Hold on. Women who get abused. So abused women who choose lovely, amazing men. I mean, they're not lovely, amazing men if they're abusing them. So let's pedal it back. I understand what she's saying. You thought you got the right guy in the beginning. He had either he had a mask on or you had some rose-colored glasses on. It's only one of the two. That's the only way that's gonna go.
That just decide to be physically abusive
which one?
because I chose that. Yeah? Is that what?
Did he decide, or was it there all along? And you chose to ignore some red flags because you had rose-colored glasses on. Because let's be honest, like, it don't start out immediately with a bam, punch to the face, right? There's some sort of weird aggressive likeness. Like, he might have that mask on, and y'all could be out doing something, and then he just snaps. I thought I told you, blah, blah, blah. And then he punches a wall or something, or like, flips a table, and you just be like, the F was that? And then he sees how you look and he be like, oh, I'm sorry, sweetie. You know, I would never do that. You know, I just lost my cool for a minute. How many times did that happen and it progressively got worse until the wall and the table started being your arm and your chest and your face? Like, he didn't just go to the face first. That did not happen.
What you're saying.
Say that again.
So I chose to be a single divorcee because of an individual's choice to be violent. Is that what you're saying?
It was your choice to get in a relationship with him.
Oh, because I did what? See his psyche.
Pearl is so...
Look, I think she let a lot of flags fly by because she loved the guy. That's what I believe. He didn't just randomly hit you one day and you divorced now because you like, well, he popped me in my face out of nowhere and now I'm a divorced singly. It's like, some things led up to that you kind of let slide out of love because you just love this man. It happens. It's okay. But you got to be honest about that. You can't just say, like, you was perfect and then out of nowhere he just became a psychopath. Like, I don't know. I will say there is some truth to that. A lot of those single mother situations are situations that are caused because of their skewed decision making, but there are women whose husbands died. Facts. I think Pearl kind of had that one on her. Yeah, I think she did too. Meekness is not weakness. Meekness is strength under control. Too many women mistake a temper as one who could protect. That's facts. That's facts. You said this video is kind of annoying. I only said, we're not watching the whole thing, Jorge. I told Tech Boy we watched a little bit of it because he said to watch it.
So dumb that after seeing that clip for the first time, I actually got drunk just from looking at my computer screen, and then I started having a panic attack because I was losing brain cells at such a high rate.
Sir, that didn't happen. That didn't happen, sir. Stop it. What does this say? Real talk, if you suffer from panic attacks and you're old enough to drink the best way, wow, grammar, my guy, yikes. Okay? The best way to stop a panic attack real quick is to have a sip of beer. You only need like 3 sips. Is that true? That doesn't sound true. That doesn't sound true. Can you stop a panic attack by drinking beer? While alcohol can lessen or put a stop to the anxious thoughts that often lead to panic attacks, drinking will only ever be a temporary fix. It will stop working once the alcohol leaves your body, and if you continually drink to squash your panic attacks, this can lead to long-term damage. Yeah, so that's horrible. That's horrible advice. My guy, why would you write that? And learn to put periods down, because yikes. Right, this right here. Grammar lives matter, okay? Yikes. Pearl might be right, but could use more compassion. I get being anti-modern woman, but is her message actually helping anyone or just making men angry? Well, her message isn't making men angry. It's making women angry. Well, okay, hold on. Let me walk that back. Her message was making women angry, but now it's starting to teeter into the men category too. So she's really starting to make both parties angry. So she's, here's my whole thing with like Red Pill. They don't offer like real solutions. Because you can only say the same thing like so many times, right? It's like, like put your head down, focus on hustling and making money and working out and doing this and doing that. And not focusing on girls and blah blah blah, and you'll be a top man or whatever it's called, like a high value man. You'll be a high value man. And it's like, okay, all right, well, that only works out for so long. So what happens if you're depressed? You'll never be depressed because as long as you work out in the gym, you'll never be depressed. It's like I work out in the gym and I'm still depressed. So what do we do from here, right? Like that's it just doesn't happen. Beer is blah, and I agree with you, bruh, but I just don't like the taste of alcohol. That's why I don't drink. But welcome to the stream, JP. What's going on, my man? I saw your guys' latest video where you're street preaching out in New York. I think aren't all of them in New York? Because isn't that where you guys are from? Hold on, I missed a message. Hold on. Her message is just pandering to men because that's where the money is. I mean, that's the whole red pill like thing. So yeah. Oh, this is what you meant. This is what I saw. She's making men angry at women, especially if they reject them. Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. That's the whole red pill thing. Yeah, this right here. You know what's funny, Rap Night? You're like the second or third person that said this on my channel. And I agree with like all of you. Without Christ, the valuation will always be wrong. Facts. Tomorrow we have a big debate. Don will be there. Ooh. Well, guys, we know what we're watching tomorrow on Christian Game Room. Oh no, I have to I might not watch that with you guys tomorrow. I might have to watch that on my own. But I'll give y'all you know what, tomorrow before I get off, we'll put the link on. I'll pin it to the top so you guys can go watch it on your own. That's what we'll do. Cuz I have to do a shorter stream tomorrow cuz we have to shoot the podcast. So I can't I'm not going to be on as long as I do tonight. Dang, I forgot that fast. My bad. My bad, Jasmine. My bad. You know, I was about to totally just... Actually, I wouldn't have forgot because I'm going to be playing Splatoon tomorrow. So I would have never forgot that. Because your husband would have been like, hey, you got to get off for the podcast. On Game Room. Yeah, John, so on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I do what's called Christian Game Room. So I'll play video games, and then in between match sets, or depending on the game, I'll even pause it. We'll run some sort of like Christian content and talk about it, or it's like culture type content and put like the Christian viewpoint on it. But yeah, that's what we do on Wednesdays and Thursdays. She in here laughing. My bad. I almost messed up. You would have been in the chat like, yo, get off.
So I remember to take 3 sips of beer.
Also in the news.
Pearl and her podcast are the exact same thing as these brain-dead radical feminists who say that all men are trash.
But we have brain cells. Like, I've seen it in all my relationships, yeah? Common sense is not there.
But
you guys have the strength, the power, you've got all that. I'm not going to sit in and say that we have that, we don't. Okay? But you guys lack common sense.
Nah, but that's your relationship
In what
experience.
Every man, I have
What if
men.
you just date the wrong people? Brokies, dumb guys.
But the only difference...
Yo. All right, KO, thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you. You have a wonderful, blessed night, my man. Thank you for pulling up. So Anna says, I think Pearl is bringing much needed light by saying modern women have an issue. So they do. It's feminism. But so there's no solution for that, though. But obviously, for many women, they need to delve deeper on a personal level into why their thinking is self-centered. So I agree with that as well. So there's an issue in the secular world when it comes to dating in general, right? Which is what you brought up. I'll believe this on the screen. So you do have a lot of women out there, but that's that feminist mindset, right? Which is being pushed more and more in culture. Girl, you don't need no man. You could be independent. You don't need no dude. Yada, 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 right? And I think I saw the craziest clip recently from a podcast where this woman, and it didn't even make any sense. She said she understands why women want to be housewives, right? She was like, that sounds like a dream to me. You get to be home all day, taking care of the house. That sounds wonderful. Follow what I'm saying. In the same breath, she said, would I want to do that though? Nope, because I don't want no man in my house. But you just said that sounds like a dream, and it sounds wonderful to have that life. But you don't want a man in your house because you want to be Miss Independent and do everything on your own. All right. Whatever. That don't make no sense. That mentality, that's what needs to leave. Honestly, God pill's where it's at. Like, if God was in most people's lives, that wouldn't be a thing to begin with, because it's just stupid. It does not make any sense in the slightest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you can say a statement like that. And then you have the red pill guys, like right here, that sit there and be like, as a man, you need to be disciplined and do this, 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 and this. But then when it comes to women, that's where they want men to be the least disciplined. They're just like, well, you should be able to sleep with as many women as you want and do this and do that. And it's like, wait a minute, pause. Hold on now. Hold on. Where's the DJ scratch at? So men have to be disciplined in all areas of life to be this high value guy. Yet in this one area where they should be disciplined with their D, you're telling them not to be disciplined and have as many bodies as they want. Yet you frown upon women for doing the same thing. They're loose, they're 304s, they're for the streets. But it's okay for you not to be disciplined and do it. That doesn't make sense either. The whole red pill narrative is just broken in so many so many areas and ways. It just does not make sense in the slightest. I can't stand it. I just can't stand it. All right, good night, Jasmine. Thank you for pulling up. And you have a wonderful, beautiful night as well, you and hubby. And I'll see you tomorrow, actually. When it comes to women, sleep with as many women as you possibly can. Yeah, that's the red pill ideology. And it does not make any sense. Because the everything prior to that is discipline. Be disciplined with your job. Make as much money as possible. Be disciplined with your body in the physical sense of where you need to be in the gym all the time. Right? Be disciplined with your time, your mind, your money, all these things. But you can't be disciplined with your penis. That makes no sense to me. That makes no sense.
Is that Pearl is the opposite end of that spectrum.
I think women divorce for no reason all the time.
Okay, that's absolutely retarded. You just need to talk.
Also this, because this is the new red pill talking point. Get a vasectomy when you're young so you don't get these women pregnant. Or maybe don't have sex with strange women you can't imagine yourself being married to and having a family with. That seems like that makes way more sense. That's why when they sit there and be like, oh, but I had this random one night stand and she won't get rid of the baby and I have to deal with child support and she's a psychopath. Well, you could have bypassed that if you just didn't have sex with some rando stranger in a one night stand. That could have been bypassed. No, but you don't understand. As a high value man, I want to sleep with as many women as possible. Okay, well, that's your consequence for that. Life has consequences. It's like... You said come back to reality. You said divorce is usually because of selfish reasons. Yeah, because something happened on one end of the spectrum. Something happened somewhere for that to even happen. So I agree with you there, Jorge.
Talk to more people then.
I've done so many street interviews. I talk to random strangers on the street all the time.
And you find women that get divorced like, oh, I just wanted to get divorced.
But the reasons they
Can I tell you the reasons? Because I researched it.
Because
this is the podcast where this chick right here got booted off. Because she went like crazy or something at the end. It was the most randomest thing ever. Because there was a chick sitting here that had already got booted off for being a psychopath. And then... they were literally at the end of the podcast. I don't know why this chick started tripping. They were literally at the very end. It was about to be over. It was crazy. It made no sense.
Dude, oh my god, you're actually a child. What do you think love is? Where a relationship requires a lot of deliberate work. Things like, hold on. Things like...
Also, it's hard for me to take Destiny serious with relationship advice, considering, like, him and his wife have an open relationship, which makes no freaking sense. Like, she has boyfriends... he also sleeps with like men and women. I can't take any relationship seriously from him. It's
like chores
I'm
where
just
relationships
saying.
start to break down and it'll steamroll into bigger things.
In case you haven't picked up on it by now, the words that come out of Pearl's mouth don't actually mean anything. All she's doing whenever she talks on a podcast is trying her best to appease her incel audience and fishing for clips for her to try and go viral on TikTok.
The first being that women like being cheated on.
Do you really believe that most women like being cheated?
Did she say women like being cheated on? But excuse me?
Nani?
That's a whole lie. Girl, since you think women like it so much, how about you get a boyfriend and see how it is when he cheats on you? Because I promise you, you're not gonna like it. Like, what?
I think I do. I did before I started the show.
Right?
I think modern women like being cheated on.
Do you think?
Pearl, just because you
This,
like being
I agree
cheated
with
on
this.
doesn't mean that other women like being cheated on.
Sorry, I'm not that smart.
In fact, in most cases, I think we all know what would happen.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
That right there. That right there would happen.
I think the worst part about Pearl is the fact that she is everything that she preaches against. For example, Pearl constantly goes on these 4-hour-long rants about how men only want traditional women and that modern women aren't traditional because they're not virgins.
You can still be a feminist.
You said, wait, maybe she means they like being a victim afterwards. But even in that sense, who wants to be the victim? Like, your trust is broken, heart is broken. Even on that level, there's like nothing to like about that though. I don't know. That's a weird take. Not yours. Pearl's. The whole women like to get cheated on. That's a very weird take. I don't know.
Have traditional roles.
Yeah,
and have a home.
Yeah,
and
but
raise
the
a home.
problem is like you guys aren't young virgins, so that's like demanding traditional outcomes when you're not traditional women. Like if
That
you were
wasn't me. That wasn't my soundboard. That was their soundboard.
No woman, you'd be a young virgin.
Like I don't understand.
Virgin.
I don't understand.
Yeah, like okay, so you're describing things. You're saying to the men like you're not traditional men, and I agree, but we're not traditional women. We're not 21-year-old virgins. Now, what she They value purity and youth. The average age of first marriage in the UK is 31. That's not pure or youthful.
And I get where she's.
I mean, I can't even lie with you what she's saying. Like, yeah, most men and women aren't traditional anymore and don't hold the... See, once again, that's why God Pill makes so much sense. Because if you start out correctly, because some of us didn't, y'all already know my story. If you start out correctly with Christianity, right, your kid knows not to have sex until marriage. Most Christians and Catholics I know that was raised in it and followed it and did exactly what they were supposed to do, got married young, had families, they're still together. Because they know exactly what the hierarchy is supposed to be, what their roles are, what they did. They ain't sleep with nobody else before then. It's just them. They both was virgins when they got together. The man's playing his role. Woman's playing her role. They put God first. I kind of agree. Like, yeah. Most people ain't living that traditional life that they claim they want. I'm just saying. Oh, here we go. Rap Night being the PR rep. Now, what she meant to say is that the way these women go back to the bad type of men who cheated on them, they must like being cheated on. All right, I got you. The PR guy. Remember, victim is a brand. I mean, that's true. I'm just trying to envision it after getting cheated on. I don't know. Yeah, not all women, but some women. My mom, she does like to be the victim, so there are some cases, sadly. Okay, I got you. My uncle is a really nice guy. He works 3 jobs, provided for his wife and kids, but his wife decided to cheat. Dang. That sucks. And leave him trying to get $8K a month. The courts were on his side, though, because he is genuine. Hey! Yo, the fact that he lucked out with the courts. Oh, man, I'm happy for him on that front. Divorce always sucks, though, especially the way it happened. And then the way she tried to go about it. That's why she ain't win. The sad part, oh no. My mom is sleeping with the dude my uncle's wife cheating with. Oh. We just gotta pray your mom makes better decisions, man. That's messed up. That's messed up. I will say this right here, though. At least your uncle had the courts on his side. So that's a win. That's a win. Your mom, though, and aunt, like, we just got to pray for them. They need to make way better decisions, but we got to keep praying for them. I think it's because my grandpa cheated on my grandma, and now my mom is kind of taking it out on the world. That's a weird way of taking that out. But everybody handles trauma very differently, so very plausible that that's what that is. I think she's kind of acting out the bad example, sadly, but yeah, big win for my uncle, real blessed. Yeah, your mom could be doing that, because like I said, everybody does handle trauma very differently. So that could be what's happening. It is sad. We're just going to we'll pray for her, and we'll pray for your aunt too. But at least your uncle got the win, though. So yeah, real blessed on that part.
He's coming from, but if you're gonna make the argument that men want traditional women and that traditional women are good, you have to actually be a traditional woman. But Pearl could not possibly be further from a traditional woman.
Right now, my priority is YouTube. I'm trying to grow my channel.
That wasn't me.
Like probably the best shape of my life.
Okay. That
Pearl
also
is an extremely
a lot of them sound effects. That's that guy. That's not me.
successful, career-oriented, not religious, not submissive, confrontational woman who is 27 years old and single, who, by the way, isn't even a virgin.
But the crazy thing is I was old. Like, I was one of the last girls in my age group for school to, like, be a virgin. Like, I was late. I was 20. I was 20. Or maybe 19. I was either 19 or 20. I was a sophomore in college.
Oh my god.
I mean, I'll give her this. She lasted a while before she, like, lost her virginity. But in the same breath, before she had that conversation with Kevin Samuels on his show, I mean, she was your typical modern feminist woman. So, in terms of, like, thinking about relationships and stuff. So, I'm shocked she waited that long. That's probably due to her upbringing. And then also how awkward she is around guys when we saw in the other clip. But everything else, yeah, that she's learning now, there's nothing wrong with having a change of thought in your thinking. I just think the way she's going about now, because of everybody trying to cancel her ever since she had 1 million subs, she just went full Sneeko with everything, like angry Sneeko. So,
God, guys, she's not even a virgin. Someone cancel this girl. She's done for because according to the Red Pill standards, high-value men only want purity and youth.
What you say is weird a way to take that out as it is. There are women who believe exposing their bodies is empowering, so it's not the craziest thing in the world. I don't. Okay, I get what you're talking about, Rap.
I think he speaks a lot of truth, and a lot of women don't want to hear it. Oh, if you sleep around, that is not attractive to guys. They don't want you to know that, like, you age out of the dating marketplace.
So I won't date a girl who's older than 25, and that's not even about. Bro, I won't.
So
Isn't that what Leonardo DiCaprio does? Like, once women hit a certain age, he just, like, cycles them back out. Yeah, this right here. So this is what Rap was talking about. He says Sneeko scorched earth. That's literally how she's been since, like, she apologized and they still tried to cancel her. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna be me times like a bazillion now. She's just been on it. It's crazy.
Her entire career is essentially based off the fact that she is the physical embodiment of everything that she preaches against on video.
If you're single over a certain age, you're probably too picky.
Yo, is this person?
Yeah, I am very
that's
picky.
what
That's
I mean.
That's what I mean. It's like.
But that's a choice. It's a choice to be picky.
And as a result of the massive difference between what she says and what she does, nothing she says holds any weight in any context except...
You said Leonardo DiCaprio ain't dead? I don't think so. Like, last time I heard, he was still switching out young girls with other young girls. I also don't follow celebrity news anymore, so if he did, I definitely missed it.
for when she inadvertently insults herself, of course.
I've noticed a lot of therapists are like older single women, and I'm kind of like, if you can't maintain a relationship, why would I take advice from you?
Pearl is obviously not a
Yikes.
therapist, but she is a single 27-year-old woman who gives more relationship advice on her channel
That's
than
why I said yikes.
99.9% of YouTube channels ever created.
Never take relationship advice from women, guys. It's ridiculous.
I agree.
And getting relationship advice from someone who's as objectively bad at dating as Pearl is
He was actually cute. I just got embarrassed. I don't know.
is like getting advice on how to walk from a toddler.
She said, baby, come here.
And to be honest, I think Pearl is actually way worse than the average grifter that I've covered on this channel, because not only is she not a traditional woman, she is disrespectfully bad at being a traditional woman.
I keep
The
cutting.
joint is.
Yeah, I keep cutting the bone. Like, I
Oh
keep
yeah, so she
thinking-
has a channel called Wife School, and the goal is to basically she's learning how to be a wife, essentially, because there's a lot of stuff she has no clue on what to do. So this is Auntie. Auntie's been teaching her how to shop on a budget, cook meals, and all that. And yeah, the whole channel is like watching her try to become a wife, essentially, so she could start dating a guy and going down that path. Not a bad idea for a channel, to be honest with you, but yeah, it's crazy. She doesn't know how to cook or do anything. It's I watched a few episodes. It's kind of wild. The guy has your soundboard. I mean, to be fair, we probably went to the same site to get some stuff. Yeah, I can't knock her for trying to do this, because at least she's trying. She's on the right path. Most women would be like, I want a husband, though, and they'd be out in the club, twerking, smoking hookah, and drinking, and having one-night stands. So at least this is kind of like the opposite of that, right? And they still don't know how to, like, cook or clean. At least she's trying, man. She's trying on the channel.
Almost have it, and then I just.
So we've got all that shopping there. So we're going to plan the menu for the whole week.
Yeah. So
what Pearl's going to do is that tip. If you're buying fresh chicken.
It's always good to learn how to make a sandwich. Look, ladies that are watching, men are the simplest creatures when it comes to food. You can go all out and make like the biggest spreads possible. They'll still love it and they'll eat it, right? But they are so simple. If you make them a good sub sandwich and you give them a good beverage to go with it and some chips, they will love you just the same. I promise you.
And then you're going to clean it. Rather than clean it, bag it up, put it in the freezer, and then have to take out and marinate it. What we do, I got it first. Well done.
The level of incompetence here is astounding. This is a very basic task that a 12-year-old child should be able to accomplish, but she's standing there trying to rip this chicken thigh with her hands, and if that wasn't infuriating enough, her failed attempt at cutting the chicken is not even in the shot.
How do you do that? How do you do that?
Calm down,
What the
Stephen
hell
A.
is going on?
And look, I think it'd be great if there was a figure in the red pill space who was actually a traditional woman teaching the younger generation of women who were interested in being more traditional on how to do that properly. But Pearl is not the one to be teaching young women these skills.
You said, I wonder if this guy likes her a bit. They're in the same age range. He might. He said he was 23. Then he said she was 27. Who knows? He might be Mr. Right for her. You know what I'm saying? See, right here. Guys are so simple. This right here. Ball game, beer, sandwich. Men are the most simplest creatures. I could be like, I go all out for holidays. I cook every day that my husband's home. So he's a truck driver, so there's times where he's just not here. But he can even hit me at the last minute and be like, so it looks like I'm coming home today after all. It'd be like, okay, sweetie, I'll make something for you get here. I'll see what we got, bust something out real quick, and still make it to stream for y'all. That's how, like, you can do all of that. And at the end of the day, I'll never forget, I could make him a sub sandwich, and he'll be just as happy. It is insane. Guys are like the simplest. I didn't know you were married. Oh, so Anna, it happened like recently. That's probably why. Yeah, because last time you were here, I wasn't. But yeah, it happened very recently. Food made with love is always the best. That's facts. That is facts. Bro, dragging it. I don't know why this would be infuriation. Let's see. Let's try to get through the cookbook portion. So that's only like 3 more minutes.
You're not that guy, pal. Trust me. You're not that guy.
Congratulations. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay.
Pearl runs a channel called Wife School where she's the main student, and aside from the fact that she's a 27-year-old human being who can't cut a chicken thigh without hitting bone, it's not helpful at all to anyone based on the fact that all of Pearl's viewers are grown men who unironically hate women. And I'm not just saying that.
Sir, there's nothing wrong with the Wife School channel. You kind of hating a little bit on that. Like, you just hating for no reason.
99% of the super chats that Pearl gets on her live streams involves just straight up insulting the women that go on the show.
You have been a 304. You are still just an older 304. Your masculinity proves that you haven't changed your ways. Dale Jennings, the sister is so damn delusional.
Big Brown, she is an absolutely horrible human being.
I mean, yeah, she's gonna get these super chats. She runs a Red Pill channel. This is like Fresh and Fit. They get the same type of stuff to whatever podcast. It's all Red Pill channels. So I'm not shocked that she gets these super chats. This isn't really exposing anything. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Being Big Brown. Tell the medium attractive
Tech Boy
304
watched all
on
of
the
this.
far
This
left
is
of the
kind of
couch. She
crazy.
isn't as intelligent or attractive as she thinks. That is exactly the type of 304 that men don't want. She would give 0 peace.
He's also
the
younger
delusional
than us,
redhead
so.
304 is emphasizing equity rather than equality. We don't wife the 304. If you do, she will go to her natural habitat, the street.
But putting Pearl's inability to cut a chicken thigh aside, the most offensive part about Pearl is that she's deluded herself into believing that her arguments are good, so she'll tweet out stuff like this.
You said that's amazing that she wants to separate. I know he's stuck on it. It's like, sir, if she's never cooked before and she's struggling, she's more than likely cutting from the wrong position, or the knife isn't sharp enough to cut through the skin at all, which is probably why she was doing all of this, trying to break it with her hand. So, and I'm surprised Auntie didn't just correct her on that in that moment, but it's fine. It's not a big deal because she got through it in the end. The whole purpose is to learn how to cook.
They'll continue to attack me personally because they can't attack the argument.
And this is honestly mind-blowing to me because...
Now, that's not true, because I do follow her on Twitter. She just says crazy stuff a lot of the times, because she does not have the statistics or facts to back it up. She says a lot of wild stuff. Then when people come back and be like, hey, that's not true, and blah, 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 she dismisses it a lot or says like, they're just hating on me because of blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, because you literally don't know what you're talking about in this moment. Like, that's all it is.
Because a lot of her arguments are absolutely horrific, and there's no way she doesn't know that. So when you combine that tweet with how often she begs people to cyberbully her, I honestly think Pearl has a humiliation fetish.
That's why I'm like, bring back bullying. I think that, honestly, a little bit of bullying is good for people.
That's a Sneeko talking point. And I don't know what Red Pill person he got that from, but that's definitely a Sneeko talking point.
Let's bring back bullying. No, I swear to God, I think a little bit of bullying is good for people. Let's bring back bullying.
Yes.
This right here, and I'm glad you said it. Honestly, if I was dating someone and they didn't know how to cook, but went to go learn because of me, I feel like God would slap me if I clowned her through any step of that process. Facts, because the whole reason she's going to learn is because of you. She wants to be a better cook for you. Because she wants to be the cook for the relationship. Yeah, you can't clown her for that. She's trying. I don't know why he's clowning her for that. He can't get off of it. Deveining shrimp is also a pain. That might be more so because of your, like, your limited eyesight. So that might be a little bit harder for you. Considering, you know, you understand what I'm talking about. That's why. You think that might be her kink? Getting cyberbullied? The fact that people are weird. That's
Yes!
Bring it back! This is why we gotta bring back bullying.
And I'm not gonna lie, although it is enticing, I am absolutely not going to feed into that more than I already have. So I'm gonna be as nice and respectful as possible from here on out, because I take a full stand against
We're almost
bullying,
done, guys.
Because
I am such a good person.
and I just love making people feel good about themselves.
It makes me feel so degraded having to clean you like a form of worship. Now, I thought this was actually quite sweet what you've written there. Sort of along the lines of, like, you really love making someone feel, you know, good.
True, yeah.
So just to clarify, I don't disagree with Pearl all the time. Obviously, sometimes Pearl says things that I agree with 100%.
Even a broken clock.
I don't disagree with everything she says, but makes a 44-minute video on her being stupid and a fraud. Yikes, my guy, yikes. As soon as we finish, Tech Boy will come back. Probably will, and he the one that wanted us to watch this. That's why I said from jump, we're not watching all this, because I know how he is.
Clock is right twice
He
a day.
hops in and out.
Even when she's right, because she's such
multitasking.
a fraud who doesn't practice what she preaches in any way.
How many women have a cookbook of just recipes that they made themselves?
How's your cooking?
How's my cook? I'm a good
I got one.
cook.
Just putting that out there.
Traditional women got their own cookbook. They're virgins. They're 22.
She makes it impossible to take anything that she says seriously.
You know, these hoes.
Maybe if Pearl were closer to her authentic self as opposed to a rinse and repeat version of every other red pill grifter in a female's body, it might be worth agreeing with her on certain things when she's not saying stupid stuff like this.
I do think men and women cheating is different. Like, I think if a woman cheats, she's trying to leave you. If a man cheats,
Yes.
he's just like,
He's
it's
getting
like
off.
it's like a handshake.
So cheating is cheating regardless. I don't care how you want to classify it to make yourself feel better. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I just did this because we just aren't intimate anymore. I just did this because you don't pay attention to me. But I don't care how you want to flip it and reverse it. But like, cheating's bad regardless. I don't care how you justify it through the sexes. It's bad. Yikes. All right. That's crazy. She's trying to rationalize something from her life? Probably. It has to be. That's a crazy statement. I think that point has some ground to stand on bullying, but I don't think it's the bullying we're talking about. I think what she means is more of tough love, like being justifiably hard on people. Okay, if that is what she's talking about, I do agree with that, because a lot of people are soft nowadays. So if we're talking about being a little bit harder on those, I agree with you. Because I tried to have that at my last job. I tried to have some of this with my team, but I also rewarded them all the time and like praised them for their performance, because I had one of the top teams in like the states. Once they tried to take that over and I couldn't do what I did anymore, and they started like bringing in certain people, I noticed how soft certain employees were. And you would be like, yo, I need you to go down there and bust such and such out and then hit this area and go fix this, right? They come up to like, I can't believe you talked to me like that on the radio. And you'd be like so confused, because you're like, what? How did I talk to you? And you asking the other people, like the other workers fixing robots, it's like, was I out of pocket? Nah, they just soft. Like, you ain't say nothing crazy. So I agree with you. The people nowadays are pretty soft. So if that's what she meant, I agree with that. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men. And weak men create hard times. Facts. I've actually heard this before. Somebody else, a few people have put this in the chat before based on whatever we were watching. Oh, you talking about the Sopranos cookbook? I'm like, baked ziti, huh? I got you, Jorge.
But the fact of the matter is, Pearl is a grifter, a fraud, and a Weasley little liar.
And it's like,
all right, well, we're done with that video. I feel like he's just kind of repeating himself, and we got to the 18-minute mark. That's almost halfway through, so did way more than we should have for a video requested by a person that left after requesting it. So, you know. Let's try, because I just realized what time it was. Let's do one more video. This might be a good one. This might be a good one. This says, openly gay man ordained as pastor by this horrible denomination. That sounds yikes. Yo, that's crazy, Rap Night. That's crazy. He was like, hey, you know that that Weasel did kinda, you know. I'm surprised that Pearl doesn't have a boyfriend. She did, she used to date one of the guys in the Red Pill community. I don't know when they broke up, but she did date one of the Red Pill guys at some point. I don't agree with Pearl a lot, but at least she is getting people talking about more serious stuff. I mean, like he said, he also said he didn't agree with her. But Red Pill, that was always my issue with Red Pill. It's like, yes, certain topics you're going to be spot on about, but then like a lot of the times, because you're missing God, like you're just going to have the worst advice on some things, and it just doesn't make sense.
It was encouragement from a spiritual mentor who helped him make peace and share his sexual identity with the faith community.
Bishop Kelly said, if you're going to be a peacemaker, you got to be at peace.
While some continue to ask,
Can you be gay and a man of faith?
No.
What's going on, guys?
They
it's
better.
Pride Month. One of the things that bothers me the most about Pride Month is this idea, this notion that LGBTQ are spreading love. They're tolerant, and this is all about acceptance. First of all, they don't even understand love. What is their actual understanding and definition of love?
According to them, love is love. Ain't that just about the stupidest definition you ever heard? Oh, what's your definition of money? Money is money.
Because the love that they're spreading is a distorted love. It's not the love of Scripture. It's not natural love. And they're not tolerant. They're actually very intolerant. And they're not accepting.
Yes.
They're not accepting of opposite or other belief systems that may oppose their belief systems. Worst thing about Pride Month is the flood of propaganda that we're going to be in.
So Anna says, you can have attraction and not act on it. Beckett Cook is a good example. Who's Beckett Cook? Let's look that up real quick. B-E-C-K... Wait. Who is this person? Author of A Change of Affection, A Gay Man's Incredible Story of Redemption, and host of The Beckett Cook Show on YouTube. So he's a gay guy not acting on his sin. That's... Okay, he's a Christian now. Oh, okay. So he's like the, we watched a video on here before. Or no, I did the video on my own. It's one of my reaction videos. It was actual Christians against progressive Christians on Middle Ground. And one of the guys was gay, and he was telling them, he was like, I've never acted on it, though. He's like, I struggle with the thoughts and yada, yada, yada. He was like, I've never acted on it. I'm never going to get married. I'm never going to date. I'm just going to live this, like, my life for Jesus or whatever. I think his name was Angel. Either we watched it together or I watched it on my own, but I remember it's on my channel somewhere. Money is money, though. Yo, Rap, you funny, bro. This right here, God is love. That's what it is. But you let them tell it, you know. You let them tell it, love is love.
inundated with. Now we're seeing information about pastors who are now openly gay.
See,
and that's an
we right here,
oxymoron.
Mary. We
Can't
are
be
right here.
Gay and a pastor. Check this out.
Serving at Prince of Peace in Pickerington is making history. History he hopes to continue through his congregation and beyond. 10 TV's Ashley Barnanson has Pastor Douglas Grace's message.
Oh, I can barely stop crying.
Pastor Douglas Grace says it's hard to dry his eyes as he cries tears of joy. Originally from Coshocton, Grace has made his way back to his home state. He most recently served in Washington, D.C. After 33 years in ministry.
Hey, but here's the thing, right? Remember in the Bible? What did the apostles say? They said, or no, was it Paul? I guess he was after. Anyways, like it says in the Bible, if you cannot control yourself, it's best for you to be married, right? Than to burn in your sin by having sexual immorality. The verse goes something like that. So the fact that that guy is willing to be like, hey, I'm never going to get married or date, I'm just strictly living for Jesus. Very hard life to live, but the fact that he's choosing it because he knows what's at stake if he acts on that sin that he's struggling to control. Hey, kudos to him for going through it. Because that's definitely extremely hard to do.
He is now officially ordained and says he's the first openly gay pastor in the Presbyterian Church in Greater Columbus.
It's okay to be who you are, and it's to be inclusive, and it's to be loving, and it's to be missional.
Grace says it was encouragement from a spiritual
This the synagogue of Satan right here. I'm gonna be real with y'all.
mentor who helped him make peace and share his sexual identity with the faith community.
Bishop Kelly said, if you're going to be a peacemaker, you got to be at peace.
While some continue to ask,
Can you be gay and a man of faith?
No.
Yes. I don't even know how to respond to that. Faith is what.
What do you mean? What do you mean? You just said yes and then followed it up with I don't know how to respond to that. So either it's yes, which is incorrect, or it's no, which is correct, and you know it's supposed to be no, but you just want to do whatever you want to do. That's
brought me out.
Okay, man. Okay, so before we get into some of those things that he said, let's just clear the deck. He's ordained as a pastor.
Cool.
That's based on man.
Yeah.
Scripture is our foundation for the qualifications of a pastor. Let's see if a gay man is qualified to be a pastor. Let's just get it over with. 1 Timothy chapter 3 is the go-to passage for people aspiring to be pastors, elders, overseers, whatever word you want to use. Let's read what it says. This saying is trustworthy. If anyone aspires to the office of overseer or elder or pastor, he desires a noble task. Therefore, a overseer must be above reproach, the husband of one wife. One of the baseline
game over. The Bible literally has the instruction manual. So for him to be like, yeah, he know he living wrong. And whoever his pastor was wrong to tell him he could be one. So I'm telling you, synagogue of Satan. That's all that is. Wolves in sheep's clothing, false prophets. That's what all of that is. Here, we're going to pull this up. And you said 8 to 13. Whoops. My chair got caught on something. My bad. Hold on. YouVersion. Where's the... Yeah, here we go. I'm about to say. So this is from Exodus. Aaron's staff becomes a snake. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, when Pharaoh says to you, perform a miracle, then say to Aaron, take your staff and throw it down before Pharaoh, and it will become a snake. So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and did just as the Lord commanded. Aaron threw his staff down in front of Pharaoh and his officials, and it became a snake. Pharaoh then summoned wise men and sorcerers, and the Egyptian magicians also did the same things by their secret arts. Each one threw down his staff, and it became a snake. But Aaron's staff swallowed up their staffs. Yet Pharaoh's heart became hard, and he would not listen to them, just as the Lord had said. Despite his staff eating the other ones to be like, see, these the phonies right here. That's why I'm eating them. Pharaoh didn't pick any of that up. Pharaoh was just like, oh, well, they're doing the same thing. So you just capping. You just a bunch of magicians. That's what you are. Not knowing that they were the real deal and what he had was a bunch of fakes and phonies. That's what these churches are. He said he was in a Presbyterian church. He was in a Presbyterian church doing this. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be my church. Couldn't be my church. Imagine it never used to be like that. And then you walk in one Sunday and dude got the pride. We on 308. Where the picture at? Here it is. Right here. Imagine walking in one Sunday and then you see this. And you be like, what's happening? Dude be talking, hey guys, I'm Pastor such and such. I'm going to be new here. And, you know, I'm gay and we're going to celebrate that. I'd walk right up out of that church. I'd be like, I don't know what's going on here, but apparently Satan has taken over. We're done. Right? Let them know, Aaron. There's right? I see all of it. Turning right around, walking right out. Yeah, nah, we done. We're done.
Is a husband of one wife. So you have to be a heterosexual married man. You can't be a gay pastor. That idea is not supported by scripture. Husband of one wife is the baseline qualification for anyone aspiring to be a pastor. You cannot be a homosexual pastor. It's untenable.
Grace says he is building his congregation on love above all else.
It's not about this political and politics and things. It's like, have you actually read the Bible?
Have you?
Sir, have you read the Bible? You, sir, have you read it? Wait, is me and him about to say the same thing?
Read the Bible, particularly 1 Corinthians 6. I want to show
we
you
said the
something
same
in
thing.
this passage that is often overlooked, that debunks the idea that people are born this way or that this is just how they are and they can never change. Paul says in 1 Corinthians 6, verse 9, or do you not know that the unrighteous will not inherit the kingdom of God? Do not be deceived.
Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers,
nor men who practice homosexuality, nor thieves, nor the greedy, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. And he says this, and such were some of you, but you were washed, you were sanctified, you were justified in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ and by the Spirit of our God. And
that man don't even read his own Bible. The lack of self-awareness is crazy. It really is. This is what they think Jesus is. This is what they think it is. They think he's some hippie loving guy. That's not who Jesus is. The day they die, they gonna be, remember I told y'all earlier in the stream when the guy who created Satanism died and he was like, oh no, what have I done? That was his last words and then he passed on. That's how they gonna be on their deathbed. They gonna take that one look. They gonna be like, oh no, I messed up. And then that's gonna be it. It's just gonna be like, beep. It's gonna be over for them. That's exactly what their last words about to be.
In other words, there were people who practiced homosexuality and then they came out of the lifestyle. Paul says, and such were some of you, Corinthians. Some of you were adulterers, swindlers, revilers, and homosexuals. But now you're not, by the power of Christ and the Spirit of our Lord God. You can't say that you're a gay pastor when Paul says these individuals who were gay are no longer gay because of Jesus Christ, because of the Spirit of God. But you can't say you are gay and you are in relationship with the Spirit of God and with Jesus Christ. It's a contradiction of Scripture. So there's no excuse for you.
He says his 100-plus congregation is focused on nurturing the community.
And that's on hell. Bing! They don't ever talk about Christ and the resurrection. They just use buzzwords like love. Facts. They really want to just live for self. But what did they tell us? The gate to heaven is narrow, right? The pathway to hell is wide and open. It's over for them. It's over for them. All these fake Christians and stuff like that, they going straight to hell. They think they're gonna be on the narrow path. No, sir. You was living for self too much. Every knee will bow, either in praise or agony. The choice is ours. Facts. Facts. Jesus is about structure. That's why the church has the magisterium. Man, let these fake people tell it.
From what he calls the COVID coma, fighting discrimination and serving those in poverty, together as one.
Jesus said, you gotta be one. We have to be one.
Reverend Grace tells me.
Okay, and what did you take that to mean? Sir, you took that whole verse out of context.
With Intel making Central Ohio its new home base, he hopes to bring even more people into his inclusive congregation who are looking to grow in their faith.
You have to be willingly.
Sir, oh no, that's my state. Yikes. Man, that's he about to create a whole false church. He about to lead a whole bunch of people to hell. That's messed up.
Ignorant or absolutely deluded if you think your faith is going to grow in a church like that, or any church with an openly gay pastor. Your faith is going to corrode, it's going to diminish greatly, and that individual is going to lead people to hell. And shame on the people who ordained this man into the pastorate. It boggles my mind that people can affirm such blatant sin. Perhaps maybe they too are guilty of the same sin or similar sins.
It's crazy because the ones that go to the church that don't understand, there's a chance they could be saved, right? There's a chance some of them, like, their eyes are open and they'll be like, nah, this ain't right, and they'll leave, right? And the only reason I say that, Alan Parr wrote a book. I saw the interview he did with Melissa Dowdery because she read it. And he was saying in his life, he said the first 3 years he went to church, he went to the wrong church. And he said in those 3 years, he was very confused about like a lot of the stuff that was going on at this church. And he said it took him 3 years to get to the point where he was just like, he finally had enough biblical knowledge where that feeling he felt matched up with everything he had finally read and understood on his own. And he was just like, yeah, I don't need to be here. This is not the place. This is not the place to be at. And he left, found the correct church after that. And that's where he's been since then. But it took time, right? Even though this guy is putting this false church down, everybody who goes ain't going to hell. Some, their eyes will be open. Not all, because unfortunately, all their eyes aren't going to be open. But some, their eyes will open, just like Alan Parr's did. And they will leave and find the right place to worship.
Paul talked about that in Romans chapter 1. In Romans 1, Paul says in verse 32, referring to homosexuals and people who approve of them, he says, though they are fully aware of God's righteous decree that those who do such things deserve to die, they not only do them themselves, but approve and applaud others who practice them. Pride Month boasts to be this month of love and acceptance and tolerance, but there's so much more going on underneath the surface. I believe Pride Month is the pinnacle of human rebellion towards God. It is telling God that, hey, we're gonna take the flag, we're gonna take the rainbow, we're gonna make it our own symbol, and we're gonna mock you. We're gonna mock your creation. We're gonna mock marriage. We're gonna mock what's natural, and we're gonna boast, and we're gonna call it Pride Month. The Bible says pride and a haughty spirit comes before a fall. Pride Month, in my estimation, is a sign of God's judgment on humanity and the foreshadowing of the fall of humanity. Ultimately, I want to see this man step down from the pastorate, repent of his homosexuality, and turn to Jesus and live a life of righteousness. Paul says to the Corinthians, and such were some of you. This is not an inflexible lifestyle. This is something that you can change. This is a choice. If you enjoyed this video and you want more content like this, do me a favor.
I like this channel. What's this guy? By the Book Ministries. I'm gonna have to check out his other videos. I like that video. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and give you a sub now, and I'll check that out later. But yeah, pride. This is what I don't like about the whole pride thing, right? Outside of the obvious, how boring of a person do you have to be where your sexuality is your whole personality, right? Like I said earlier in the stream, the Pride Parade was like the past weekend in my city. And we didn't realize that until we were actually driving through the city to like cross this bridge to get to what we call the West Side, and we kind of inadvertently ran into it. Wasn't the goal, but it happened because we had no idea that was happening on Saturday, right? What ended up happening is we were talking about that, and I brought up Eugene from Try Guys. So if you guys have never seen Try Guys, it used to be 4 guys, but Ned cheated on his wife, so it's just 3 of them now. But Eugene is the gay guy. But he's one of the people that you would see in Pride or any other part of life where their sexuality is their whole identity. So before Try Guys went solo dolo on their own, they were part of BuzzFeed many, many years ago, right? When he first got to BuzzFeed, his very first video was him explaining how he went on all these gay dates and it didn't work out till he found the right gay man, right? Okay, cool. From video 1, we knew Eugene was gay. Watching it. As he did more and more videos, once again, because that was his whole personality, is literally him being gay and him being a drunk. That's all he ever portrayed. That was his whole personality. That's all this man ever was, right? We get to a bunch of videos, so finally we get to a video where he's like, it's his coming out video where he's like, I just want to be honest and tell you guys who I'm, man. I am a gay man. And you had all the people in the comments were like, yeah, good on you for coming out. And I was always confused because I'm like, bro, we been knew you were gay. You have like 50 billion videos up until this point that you're gay, right? Because this man made that his whole personality, do you know how many coming out videos he had since then? It seems like once or twice a year he does a coming out video, to the point Try Guys go solo. They're in the very beginning of their channel. It's still 4 of them. And there's a video where they're showing all the behind the scenes stuff, and he sits the other 3 down and he's like, yeah, guys, I think this is a very important video. People should understand like my sexuality and how this works and blah, blah, blah. And despite like me not liking Ned because he's the cheater, at that point in time, Ned was really the only one that was like, bro, I get what you want to do, but this is like a lot of money just to make a video of you basically saying you're gay. And I like fully agreed with Ned at the time because I'm like, bro, you've had 50 billion coming out. We know you're gay. Everybody knows you're gay at this point. What else is Eugene? What else do you do, my guy? Like, honestly, who are you as a person? And the fact that like they caved, because obviously cancel culture, you don't want people saying, I can't believe you didn't give Eugene the money to make the gay video. They gave him like 70 racks or something to do this whole production of a video of him singing and dancing in drag to let people know he was gay. And it was like mind boggling because I'm like, bro, this is literally your whole personality. And that's all I saw out there when we were like waiting at lights to turn and get past all that crap. And all I've seen is people dripped out in rainbow gear, like from head to toe. And that's like their whole thing. And I'm like, we get it. You're gay. Why do you need like a whole parade for this? What's the point? I don't have a parade on me being straight. Like, that's also not my whole personality. I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it. You said I wore a shirt with a rainbow back in the day, and folks were asking if I was gay. Still pressed. Yo, that's actually kind of funny. You pressed they took the rainbow? Yeah, I know. And you see they tried to they removed the color just so they can be different. So they could be like, this is our version. No, it's not. No, it's not. I think Eugene is a Capricorn too, he says. Ah, all right. Well, we got a third layer to Eugene. Capricorn, gay, and drunk. That's all we got from him. That's all we got. All right, y'all. I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Thank y'all for hanging out with me as usual. I do appreciate it. Also, I'm going to share this right here real quick. The rainbow was God's promise that he never flood the earth. Facts. Facts. But I'm going to go ahead and call it a night. Tomorrow, Christian Game Room. It's going to be cut way shorter because I have to shoot the podcast with Jasmine. So, it's going to be 1 hour, possibly to an hour and a half long. Very short, like I said, but we got to shoot the podcast. That's more important. So, playing Splatoon 3. I haven't touched this since the last time I played with Charles. Hopefully he's available. Me and him could play together. If not, y'all will see me rage alone for an hour at best. So, you guys have a good one. Tell the hubby congratulations. Oh, I will. Thank you. I appreciate y'all. Blessings to you and your friends and fam and everyone here. Y'all so nice, man. Y'all so nice. Deuce Volt. What does Deuce Volt mean? I always see Catholics say that. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Deuce Volt, just so y'all can see what I'm reading. Oh, it's a Christian motto relating to divine providence. So in ecclesiastical Latin, it means God wills it. Oh, I got you. Learn something new every day. The more you learn. All right, y'all. Y'all have a wonderful, blessed night. And if you're going to be here tomorrow, I will see you guys tomorrow. So you have a blessed one. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by.